This show is brought to you by Blue Apron. Check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals for free with Blue Apron. You also get free shipping when you go to blueapron.com/Joey. That's blueapron.com/Joey to get your first 3 meals for free with free shipping. This show is also brought to you by Texture. Go to texture.com/Joey right now and download the free Texture app, which is going to give you, and they're giving you a free trial at texture.com/Joey. It's going to give you immediate entry to the top magazines, including back issues and bonus video content. Start binge reading for free at texture.com/Joey.
Oh shit. When we start with Spanish music, it's gonna be fucking dangerous. A little song from Narcos that we've been playing for fucking 3 years on this thing, only the live version. This is when Chael was solo on his own music, but he was still on the Fania label. But who gives a fuck? It's the church of what's happening now, bitches. Going into you smooth. September 4th. Kick that, Lee. Kick that, Lee. Oh, shit. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, shit. When we go into something like that smooth, it's all over for you motherfuckers. Greetings. Happy Labor Day. Uncle Joey Diaz with his main motherfucker, Lee Sayat, and my main little brother here, Troy Conrad. What's happening, gentlemen?
Hey.
How was the weekend?
Oh, I had a fun weekend. Watched fucking... Speaking of this, like the music on that is great. Just like, do you ever, especially in LA, whenever like I get like a fucked up traffic thing, or if someone calls and I get distracted, I'll just end up on like Mexican music or some like Southern American music, and it just like I'll just find myself listening to it, and I have no idea what they're saying or what's happening.
It doesn't really matter.
But it just, and it all sounds similar, but it just
spirited.
Oh yeah.
You could always. You should feel the music in like your soul. It's a corny saying.
No, yeah, it's true.
But sometimes if you feel it, it could be any. You don't even know that. You don't even need to know the fucking words. You don't even need to know the words. You know what the fuck he's saying through his music. If you really put that song on over and over and over, then you'll figure out one word, then maybe two, then you got it fucking down. Now you're singing the song in a different language. Who's better than you? You get arrested in fucking Albania. You know the song of the hottest singer. They're not gonna fucking arrest you. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna arrest you. You're a fucking American. You know Albanian music. You know, you ever see Splash with John Candy, one of the greatest movies of all time?
God, yeah.
How he gets the chick out of the tub is he brings his brother, but they're Swedes. And all of a sudden the guy starts talking to him in Swedish, and John Candy just tells him a Swede line. And fucking on the walk in, Tom Hanks asks him, "What'd you say to him?" And he goes, "I told him," he goes, "any fine connoisseur knows that all the best porn is made in Sweden." You know, and I'm fucking dying, right? And he goes, I said to him, "Hey, Malik, you know, whatever the fuck, who's fucking the bro?" I don't know exactly the line. I know people are going to get pissed at me because it's a classic movie. He's like, "Who's going to fuck her?" or whatever. And, and the guy laughs in English, and the Swedish guard laughs. So you never know what you learn from what you're listening to. It could be anything.
If you know something about the culture, it's the great connector.
It's really weird. If you're a fan of the Beatles, you know that their music changed. And for an album, when they went to India, or they went somewhere and they were playing fucking harps, and there's one album, Revolution, maybe, don't quote me again, that they went over there and took that music and applied it to some of their songs, and it worked out perfectly. Because if the music's good, it'll all make sense. It'll all make sense, like rap and fucking Aerosmith that time. You know,
Run DMC.
I wasn't a big fan of that, but it did do something.
Yeah.
It did do something, and let you know anybody could do it. And it turned. Look at what happened 10 years later, 15, 20 years later. A guy by the name of Kid Rock fucking shows up doing that shit. So it's music could always be fucking merged. Troy Conrad is a buddy of mine that he had to refresh my memory how we met. Was under the impression I didn't know nothing about comedy or nothing. I thought you were like a producer guy, and you were like one of the producers on what's his name show
on Set List. Oh, you thought I was with the Green Room with
Green
Paul
Room
Provenza
for some reason. I thought you were like one of the producers on Green Room. And there's a lot of guys that Eric Abrams.
Yeah.
I have 10 friends that they just do things in L.A.
Yeah.
One day you go shoot a movie and they're there on the fucking movie set. One day, and sometimes they're taking pictures. Sometimes they're doing. It really doesn't matter. And I kind of appreciate that sometimes. I kind of like that when people do that, because what you're telling me is that you're making a living, bitch.
Yeah.
You're making a living, bitch. You're putting it together one way or another. What's the kid from the store? He's like dog shit. Jeremiah Watkins.
Jeremiah Watkins. He's unbelievable.
He's like dog shit. He's everywhere. He's on this show, that show. Why? Because he put hustle in.
Yeah.
You can't get mad at Jeremiah Watkins at all, because those are the kids that they'll always work in this town.
He's got the hustle.
Yeah. But so do you.
No. Yeah. Well, look, I like doing. I'm always involved in all kinds of different stuff, right? But I'm just in that weird creative world. But I just like, what's important to me is doing stuff that matters instead of making a living at doing something that I hate. And if it's, you know what I mean, like I don't do the reality TV thing and all that stuff, because to me that's not. I can't be happy with that at the end of the day. So if I'm taking pictures, if I'm making a movie, if I'm producing a show, creating a show, that's where I want to be. So it's hard to say what I do, because it's fucking a little bit all over the place. But man, I love it, and it's all rooted in the comedy world, because that's my world.
Now we always have conversations. You're a fan of the podcast. Jesus Christ, Lee.
Yeah, I love the show.
You left something in here, like a piece of chocolate or something. Jesus Christ, Lee, I can't take it nowhere. He left a piece of chocolate in the goddamn bong on the inside.
I had some crazy ideas. What can I say?
Crap, to leave chocolate in the bong? Oh, my God.
No, I didn't.
This is the chocolate from the mushroom, or somebody's lung, or a piece of fucking Blue Apron. I don't know what the fuck it is. You brought that Blue Apron meat. I thought you were on that, and then you... Guys like you stay 50 feet away from me. Like, nice guys like you just fucking stay the fuck away from me. They're like, you know what, Joey's trouble. He's going to touch me with that THC finger. Something's going to happen. I'm going to crash my car. So you'd always approach me. You were always a sweet guy. And deep down inside, I'm still a crazy New Yorker. Like, I have no idea when people approach me. So for like a year, you would come up to me and go, hey, I got this show. And I'd go, what the fuck is he talking about?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I called you the other day and I tried to explain to you. People come to talk to me at night. Like, unless you call me at home and go, hey, we're going to talk fucking business tonight about my show.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But if you come up to me unexpectedly, like I look at you, people said to me, Joey, that night I went up to you, you looked at me like, because I'm fucking I'm coming down off this fucking stage thing, or I'm about to go up, so my head's somewhere completely different.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody got mad at me one night. I was taking pictures of the guy. She came over, she goes, hey, can you talk to me about a show? I go, hold on, I'll go over there. When the guy took 40 minutes. By the time I got over there, she was gone. Next day, I got a hate mail on my Facebook. I had a big paying gig for you. Go fuck yourself. You're rude. What am I going to tell these people to go fuck themselves because you want to talk to me about a gig? This is a surprise to me. Like, it's just crazy sometimes where my head is at night. Plus, I'm thinking about my daughter and my wife, and we're going to move, and the special, and the cats, and Lee, and you got all these thoughts going through your fucking head. And at the end of the night, it's like, people come up to me like, hey, you want to get high? No. If you know what I was going through right now, you wouldn't want to get high either. Yeah. Because up Laurel Canyon, my head going upward, my head explodes with all the thoughts. Not to mention about my set.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about my set. That's the closest I'll remember. Once I get over cold water, it's over. I'm thinking about where to stop, who's got rolling papers, then I go into whatever, and I'm fine for a little while.
Do you ever have those times where somebody's talking to you where you literally have 0 seconds to go on stage, so you haven't even thought about like what you're going to say, and you walk on stage because you were just in some conversation? You ever have that?
Sometimes the conversation helps me. I got to be honest with you. Sometimes I like when somebody comes up to me and annoys me.
That makes sense. No, I get this.
I pray for that. I pray for somebody to come up to me that I know with a stupid question that knows me. But he's all fucked up. Because what happens is people who know me, them too, at night, they get fucked up. Like I have a friend that constantly, that's a comedian, a well-known comedian. He only calls me Saturday nights at 9:30 to say what you're doing, how your week is going. I'm like, listen, where the fuck do you think I am?
Yeah.
So guess what? Last night he didn't call me, so today I called him. I go, I just want to tell you, last night was the first Saturday in 4 weeks you didn't fucking call me. I'll be home for 2 weeks. He'll never call. He'll call me as soon as I get on the fucking plane. They go, hey, you want to go eat lunch? I just told you a month ago, my dates. It's fucking crazy. So the mind, listen, I understand a lot of people because I know what I'm going through. I know when you have all this shit on your plate and people really can't grasp it. People have no idea how to grasp where you're. I look at somebody and I can tell if they're in deep thought. I look at somebody and I can tell what's kind of going on, if it's a good time to talk to them, especially if I'm selling. You know, there's always fucking something. That's why when Lee comes to me, he goes, hey, these people contacted us. I go, whoa. Let's take a step back, take a breath, and go in there with a clear mind.
I've noticed in dealing, like starting my own business and then just in dealing with people who are working by themselves, and I did it a lot when I was really new at it, is they try to oversell sometimes. So they get really excited, and like even after you say yes, they're like, yeah, but it's going to be great because of this. And like, I already said yeah. And then they keep going and going, and it really, you said something like, we've been to you hear it a lot in LA, I'm going to a meeting. I haven't really been to any, I've been to like 2 meetings, both with you, Joey, and I'm always like, because I don't want to talk out of bounds. So I'm like, what should I say? And you're like, just let them talk.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason to talk first, and like, so just, it's important to learn that, because you don't want to go to that big meeting and over talk.
You see it. If you've ever been to a meeting where somebody's out of line, you fucking feel it in the room. You're like, Jesus Christ, what is this guy? Tame him down. Somebody tame him down.
Oh, man.
It's not good. It embarrasses me. I went to one in January. I met a guy at a Christmas party that was trying to sell me that stuff. Again, Lee, a year later, nobody's using that shit with the viral view of your podcast so you could see the corner.
Oh.
And he took me to lunch, and it was just a fucking beating. Because before you sell, let's talk.
Yeah.
I tell even the guest on the show, come a little early so we can chit-chat, smoke a bowl. I don't want to throw you to the fucking lions. I want to slow you down. One of the most genius things I ever heard was Gambino always had his wife answer the door.
Why is that?
Because he wanted her to slow you down. I don't give a fuck if I just talked to you on the phone and said, Lee, come right up the stairs. Come on, talk to me about what Troy did to you. He was always in the back room in a meeting, and as fired up as you were, he had her stop you at the door, sit you down, give you a cup of coffee, offer you a cookie.
Yeah. Bring a little zen in.
Bring a little zen in. Now you're around a woman that could be your mom. You know, how you going to act around your mom? It was a genius move. And that, I didn't think it was a genius. I'm not a gangster, but I thought about it from the other way, how you have to slow your horses down a lot in life. You know, when you first come here, you could see the guys that their nose is wide open. Not that they're doing drugs, but they want to be a part of everything, you know, and they want to be, I want to be on that show. 3 Arts is going to be there. I got to be there. I got to show 3 Arts how funny I am. And it's kind of, and I got to be honest with you, I was part of that. You know, I was a young comic. I wasn't young. I've always been a dinosaur. But I know what it's like to be in this town and be overly aggressive.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of those roles I got them on my own because I was sending my own paperwork, called the casting office. That's unheard of. That's unheard of. But I didn't give a fuck. I'm trying to sell a job. I'm trying to pay the bills.
Troy, you said something very interesting when you first started. You said you didn't want to do reality TV. And I know there's a lot of people in LA listening, and even New York. Like, when I first came out here, I was very lucky and very happy to have had a job, but my job was in reality. And it's just so easy to get, because that's all...
It's a big part of the industry.
It's all they have out here. And, like, I've never once worked on, like, a scripted show or anything like that. And that was... Or a movie, and that's just so hard to get, that you get in this little rhythm of reality shows, and then 20 years later, you've edited 20 years, but it's all reality shows. So it's sort of like the nose wide open thing. You should come here and maybe not take the first job that's offered to you.
Well, no, but you get a good start that way, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you get a start, but
they're all stepping stones.
Yeah.
Those jobs are all stepping stones to film. and television. Somewhere along the line, some guys in the company go, Psst, I just got a show as a producer. I need an assistant. Is it reality? No, it's fucking CBS. It's a show with Kevin James and Marlo O'Hara, whatever the fuck, and you're gonna be my producer assistant. Now you do that for 2 years. The guy quits. He snorts coke, fucks the receptionist, cheats on his wife. He quits, and guess who gets the job? You do. Now you're a fucking producer on the show for 2 years. Maybe it stays on for 7 seasons. You're a producer for 4 years. You're making pretty good fucking money. You're doing 2 seasons a year, and now people calling you going, "You want to produce my fucking show on NBC?" Bam! You went from reality to fucking producer.
Oh, it's crazy. Like,
that's how fucking crazy this world is.
Right as soon as I finished, I was about to make the move to just doing this full time, I literally went to the meeting at the editors union because I had amassed enough hours, and for my position, which wasn't great, it's an assistant editor, I was gonna make $2,000 a week on a union TV show. Because of the union, I would have gotten health benefits, and maybe I wouldn't be that thrilled with working in reality, but $2,000 a week? Are you serious? I was 3 years out of college. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Why did you pursue it? You didn't want to go forward with
That was right when I decided to do this full time, and it was just, I didn't. You were just talking about levels. It's stepping stones. It's kind of hard to get a union a gig because they're so well paying, but I didn't want to, I had just spent. We talk a lot about how I was so fucking tired. I was working 10 to 12 hour days editing and then coming here. So, and it wasn't, my issue was never really my morality or my artistic sense, because I wasn't really in it for art. I was just doing it, but myself wasn't happy.
Yeah.
So that's, I guess that two sides of the same coin, but
right. But within that world, let's say you're editing in reality television,
right.
Within that world, you can still do something that matters. You can still do something that's a little bit outside the ordinary and make yourself doing something great for you. That's what it's about. Not, I don't mean it in the artistic sense. I mean just something that makes you happy. That's maybe contributes in a way to that show that the producers go, oh, that's fucking amazing. We didn't even think of it this way. That's a really great edit or whatever. Editors control everything. Editors are the ones who make the movies, make the shows.
Oh yeah. And then I'm not trying to bash on people in that industry. That's some of the smartest people. My first boss ever, Vin DeBona, essentially created YouTube. He created America's Funniest Home Videos in 1988. There's something like 20. This is probably 26 or 27 seasons. They have shows all over the world. He's a genius. I'm just saying, for me, I wasn't happy working in reality. And this has been, what's better than doing this and getting paid?
Oh my God. You guys, what this show does for people, it's amazing how much it affects people. And you just look at the comments that people make and the way it changes. How many emails you guys get that tell people this is fucking incredible, changed my life,
Well, I always thought the truth helps people.
Yeah.
I always knew that I had this truth that I hadn't said to anybody. Just talking about what happened in your life and somebody hearing it, that happened to, they giggle. They go, Jesus Christ, I don't feel that bad. It's just not me anymore. It's just so weird how this podcast has grown. And the people that contact me and the different emails I get. And, today I answered 30 emails.
Wow.
And the emails are usually about the core of the show, which is being scared and still going for it. Because being scared and not going for it, you're not going to get nowhere in your fucking life. The drugs, how that affected us. You and I, we were all talking about drugs for 20 minutes at the beginning of the show, which is really interesting conversation about how drugs evolve in your life. And I didn't know about that till cocaine. How after 7 years the drug goes from being a social drug to probably my 7th year it became a antisocial drug, which just, instead of having 15 people in the room, I got it down to maybe 3. And by 1994, I had it down to nobody. And I would have a party by myself and get drunk and talk into the mirror like Denzel and Man on Fire and wave a gun around and act like a fucking moron. And I saw the evolution of it. I saw how it made me antisocial. I'm usually a person that likes at least talking shit with somebody in an apartment, doing some coke, whether it's 3 males or whatever the fuck, you know. But I saw how that, and I'm seeing it now with weed, how sometimes it kicks off. It used to be the edibles when I went to jiu-jitsu, and I stopped all that. And sometimes edibles, when you take that extra step, the extra 200 milligrams for us, like in San Jose that time, that was 500 milligrams, and I ate 3/4
We laugh at
of
that
it.
now.
And I'll never forget that. My body started changing right there. And I had to ask the manager, I go in the kitchen and just take a plate of something. I go, because I'm going to fuck it. It's going to go. I got to eat something to stop this animal from growing.
Wow.
But now I'm starting to get anxiety. I was telling you that last Saturday I had anxiety. I had to follow, just one of the regular guys at the store.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I had to follow fucking Eddie Murphy or Richard Pryor. And I got this dose of anxiety. I had to follow. The worst was Megan Mooney that night. That was the fucking worst.
Morgan Murphy.
Morgan Murphy. That was the worst.
Oh.
Where I was sitting in Mitzi's chair, fucking dying, It was just terrible.
It happens. Does it, once you get on stage, is it still with you or it's gone?
No, it's gone.
Yeah.
But I look at the anxiety before I go on stage as fear.
Yeah.
And fear is healthy.
Yeah. It's always, I always
Fear
feel
is
like,
healthy.
Yeah.
It's healthy to feel fear.
I totally think so.
Very healthy, especially when you're in that.
You're putting yourself in the arena.
Any position. When you go cross-train, I'll look at Lee and go, Lee, today we're going to do 400 pounds. You're going to throw it up in the air and run under it 10 times, then catch it. You're going to look at me and go, Joey, are you fucking kidding me? I got to take that fear from you. And that's what happened to me with jiu-jitsu. Like, I was really scared. Like, sometimes when I just tap hands with you, my anxiety level goes up. And after I let you throw me down and stuff, and I tap, then I get momentum again. I go, I'm not going to die. I don't know what I'm anxiety about. Now I start putting up resistance. Now, that first thing, that first hyperventilation, for me is always bad. God forbid I got to put fucking stars in me or something. Like if I have 3 stars in me in the morning and I go to a radio station and then like you got to walk up steps, I can't walk up those fucking steps. Like listen, I don't want to see no stairs. When I'm on edibles, I don't want to see no fucking stairs. Sometimes I take them early before the airport. Oh my God. That American Airlines, you got to walk to that fucking terminal or Southwest. You're huffing and puffing. I get fucking anxiety just sometimes when I grasp for air and I can't get it, I get anxiety. That's why I got the nose surgery and all that shit. But back to stand-up. I think that the anxiety is healthy. It's fear.
Those
it's
butterflies,
fear.
man.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
I know that when I feel those, and then I have the choice to go or not go. Like to just say, oh no, I got these butterflies, maybe let's get the fuck out of here. When I go through with it, it's always amazing because it's like I've maybe overcome some hurdle. Like that fear, looking it in the face and just diving the fuck in the pool. It's like that did something for me. Just that alone, When I'm not nervous, okay, whatever, But that anxiety, those butterflies, like just go. Don't do this. Go. That's when the good shit happens, because like you just put yourself in that arena and there's arrows coming at you and you're swatting them off like David, whatever the guy in Kung Fu.
Now
David
what is
Carradine.
David Carradine? Now what is the definition of fear? Like the fear before I go on stage,
Resistance.
the fear of. Okay, like something came to my mind. One time I was trying to break into his bookie's house, and he had a fucking dog. And all week I fed the fucking dog. I didn't think he was going to turn on me. The night of the robbery, he turned on me, the dog, and he chased me. And not only did the dog chase me, cops with flashlights were chasing me. It was a dark hallway behind an A&P in West New York, New Jersey on 57 to 58. That fear, I think of that fear I had that day. I don't know what I was more scared of. The bookie catching me, the cops catching me, or the dog catching me. But I remember when I fucking ran, after I ran like a half a mile, that fear just disappeared. I remember laughing my fucking ass off, running, like
That makes sense.
running and looking for cop cars, and I couldn't stop fucking laughing. I loved breaking into apartments.
For the thrill of it?
Not
What
like
do you mean?
not like like if somebody said Lee has coke in that office. That's where they weigh the coke and stuff. They have a safe. You know how many fucking safes I just picked up and walked out with? Are you fucking kidding me? Do you know how many fucking safes in my day I just picked up?
Wait, people don't nail down safes?
No, here's the thing, Lee. I never knew about this shit, okay? I never knew nothing about safes. I was never a safe cracker. If I walked in your house and there was a safe, I felt like shooting myself because I knew nothing about safes. And then when I was about 20, before I went to Colorado, at my friend's house, there was this dude that was like a Westie, one of the Irish mob guys. And I used to always talk to him. He had brothers, he had daughters and kids, and I talked to him. And one day he was talking to me about fucking getting a job at this place for him as a case. He goes, you know how to case a joint? Because he knew I was a burglar. He knew I was a thief. And he goes, you know how to case joints pretty good. He goes, you want to case them for me? He goes, you're not going to get in trouble. We get you a job in there. You go to work there for 3 weeks, write everything down. And then we go in there. And I remember telling him, there's a safe. And he goes, perfect. Look to see if it's bolted down. And I said to him, so let me ask you something. If there's a safe, you guys take it? And he goes, I could get anything open, just not there. We don't have the time to do it there. He goes, I got a friend that has a body shop, and they get it open over there. They'll fucking burn that fucking door down. So I learned from him that you would take safes. Then in '83, I burglarized, on Christmas Eve, I burglarized the family mall at the Snowmass Village fucking resort up there. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, if you woke up in Aspen, it said, Snowmass Village Mall burglarized Christmas Eve. It was me on a drunk rage. In those days, I used to drink Southern Comfort. No, I was done with Southern Comfort. There was something else creepy I was drinking. I was drinking like a
Wild
whiskey,
turkey?
like something like that with orange juice. And I would get 3 of them in me, and I'd go back to thieving. I felt like thieving. I would get drunk to become a thief. And I remember one night I was like, fuck this shit. And I first went and broke into this one place and took like 800 out of there. And I kicked this other door down and took like, I picked up the cash register and took that home. Then I went back up there and I broke into this. I mean, this place was, you know, those malls that they have everything, towels, goggles, suntan lotion. It's ski season now. So they had fucking hats, goggles, gloves, scarves, you know, shit like that. And the door, it was one of those doors where all you had to do was put your 2 hands on it. It was 1983, guys.
Yeah.
All you had to do was put your hands on it and pull. I just broke the bolt with my bare hands. Like, it just went bop! It opened up, I closed it, and I took a walk to see if the alarm went off, the silent alarm. I waited 20 minutes, no silent alarm. I walked back. I fucking ran in there. All the registered had that regular shit in there, $10 in singles.
So you took a walk outside of the mall after you opened the door.
Right.
Wow. Jesus Christ, that's...
Because I wanted to see if the cops were coming. I could see the cops coming at me like narcos. I had a lookout. I was a lookout. I could always see, because cops won't put the siren on, but they'll always put the lights on.
Yeah.
So I would look for the fucking lights, Lee, and if I saw the lights, I'd get the fuck out of there. You know, I knew that place that I could run around this building and through this building. There was no cameras in those days. You know, now you can't do that. The fucking satellite picks you up. All you need is 72 hours, and they'll get a satellite that was in that area to photograph that thing, and you're dead. You're dead. Mort.
Yeah.
So I went back in there. They had like 3 registers where people could check out, you know, postcards and shit. You know, 10 singles, a roll of nickels. And I went to the back. I kicked the fucking door down in my drunk, and there it was. The fucking safe was right there. One of those skinny safes with the combination of the top.
How much does that thing weigh?
Whatever. It didn't fucking matter.
Shit.
I went.
No hand truck.
I took a hand truck. There was a little hand truck in the back. I took that fucking hand truck, and I wheeled that savage home, and I put it in my buddy's Jeep. And the next day we then went to Glenwood Springs, and we cracked that motherfucker open. I hit it up like 20 times with a sledgehammer. That didn't do nothing. You have no idea. I lost 18 pounds after that fucking encounter. And then what else? I robbed another safe one time. I robbed a safe in Guttenberg, New Jersey at the Galaxy Towers. I was working as a maintenance fucking man there. I would write the orders for people. So I would have to deliver the spots to the apartments. No bonded, no background check. They just gave me a place to go that you could take keys off the wall. And they would have 3 or 4 keys on each loop. So I just took a key for each fucking apartment. I had a key for the whole fucking building, the Galaxy. They got 3 towers. This is back in 84. And I would fucking go drop off the material in people's apartment. Hello, Mr. Syed. And I would just say, you here? And I would keep going back there and whatever I could take. I was crazy, guys. I was fucking crazy. And I went to this room one time and there was another safe. So I kept the key. I took it off the loop. And I realized that the people went on vacation. They were like in Europe or something like that. So Friday night I got fucked up with my friends. I told them to wait downstairs. I just walked up like I owned the building, dog. Took the safe, carried it downstairs like a fucking, put like a blanket on top of it.
Yeah. Like you work there, like you were just running a delivery, like you're the guy that does
it. I
think
one person saw me. I put it in the car, and again, I had to take it to fucking Sea Caucus and light it on fire. And that had like a string of pearls in it. I got like the small 2000.
Oh my God.
And then the biggest one that's known is me and Josh Wolf. That time, he'll tell you, that was the heaviest safe ever. He'll tell you. That adrenaline, that criminal adrenaline that you get, that's a complete different adrenaline. Man. There's sports adrenaline, there's comedy adrenaline, then there's criminal adrenaline. That shit's crazy. That's what makes somebody stab you 80 times. You know, it's hunger, it's desire. You want to fucking be a big shot, you know, pop, 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 pop. And he said there was going to be 50 grand in there from the Boston Red Sox, Yankees, Seattle Mariners series. Yankees Mariners. This is back in 97, 8. He's like, yeah, there's going to be fucking 30 grand cash from all the people who buy beers at the bar. He was going to be out of town, so we got this other guy. And I go, listen, all you got to do is look outside. Do you know when he was parked outside, a cop pulled next to him? Like just to pull next to him, like to get coffee. And there's this guy waiting. I'll never forget this. I looked out and I saw him next to the cop and I thought we were dead. And something made me wait 5 minutes and the cop pulled away. And then he pulled the car in front of the back door and I carried the safe. That safe had at that time weigh, I don't know. And I fucking didn't pick it up. I just pulled it and rolled it on the carpet. You could hear the floor going, bah, 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 boom, bah, 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 bah. Then there were stairs. I just threw it down the fucking stairs. And it just busted the stairs. And I jumped after it. I grabbed it. And then there was another set of concrete stairs. Bah, bah, bah. I fucking take that and I fucking carry it to the door. I'm sweating. My hands are cut. I'm bleeding. You know, my heart's pumping. I'm drenched in sweat. You're drenched in that criminal adrenaline. That shit makes you fucking sweat everywhere. I pulled that motherfucker out. Frankie, whatever his name was, pulled up. We popped his trunk. We both fucking, we couldn't pick, I mean, it was horrific. We picked it up to the bumper. We got to get out of here. The cops are going to come. We just flipped it in. The fucking car sank. It was like a low rider. We fucking took it over the bridge. Took it to where I lived there. We fucking cracked it. I go to open the fucking thing, and there's a bag filled with change. $600. Oh. Now we had to take the fucking safe and dump it.
Where do you
Wipe
where
the
do you
fingerprints,
dump a safe?
chlorine in the river.
Oh, shit.
So he dumped it in the fucking river. It's done.
Holy shit.
You just threw it down the, like no one came out and was like, hey, everything okay?
It's Sunday night, 1 in the morning.
It still sounds like a
Like a bomb. It was a business building.
Oh my God.
You have no fucking idea. Idea.
Doesn't that level of adrenaline make you feel alive though? Like every
I was
detail.
addicted to it.
Yeah,
I was addicted to it.
Yeah.
I was a professional piece of shit. I was addicted to it. I could put a suit on and go into a building and case a fucking building. I just opened this door. Louis. No, there's no Louis in here. I knew there was no Louis in here. I just came in here to see who was in here and what was in here. And what were you guys doing in here? That's why you always close your door, because this guy's like me, they'll just knock. And go like this and go, Louis, I got the wrong office. And you're like, thanks for, all right, sorry about that. That guy's casing your world. Or you have to assume he's casing your world. Because that's how I cased your office. Just a regular fat fuck with a suit on. And you're happy. What a nice guy. Oh, my God. He was a gentleman. We love his New Jersey accent. He's coming back in an hour. He's sitting at the end of the hall waiting for you to go get hot dogs and for you to go pee. And he's going to come in here because he's seen that wallet with your car keys you put up there. That's how fast I could work.
Wow.
It was fucking lightning. It's crazy, but I was addicted to that
Yeah.
shit. I got addicted to that.
That makes sense.
I got addicted to it once a week. You know, because I was doing at least one drug burglary a week. Because you rob somebody, you do the drugs, you hide for a day, you spend the money, and now you need another fucking hookup.
Don't you think this is exactly like Donald Cerrone? He's the way he trains. He's out there. He's doing bungee jumping. He's skydiving. He's doing that shit. He's doing the same exact thing that you're talking about. Like that's his. No, it is. It's the exact same thing.
You're chasing
It's just
adrenaline.
di-
it's just different fucking forms.
different
We've been talking
methods,
about
different
that.
forms of doing it. But it's still the same exact thing, and that's what keeps him alive. That's what makes him passionate about what he does. It's still he's got that adrenaline, and he'll be the first to say like, that's my addiction. Like I'm never giving that up. And it's very clear. No one's gonna, like, Dana White comes and says, "Hey, we need you to tone that down." He's no, I won't do it. That's what I live for. Like that's what
I
makes
like
you feel
things that are
alive.
real.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what brought me back to life: jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I was telling somebody today that it was because I seen all the weaknesses, not only in my jiu-jitsu and I saw all the weaknesses in my athletic abilities. I saw the weaknesses in my personal life, how it affected I saw the weakness in, I couldn't breathe. I was getting anxiety over a guy on top of me. What happens if two guys come out of a car and get on top of me and they rape my daughter? I can't have that position. I can never be in that situation. So that's what you prepare your mind. God knows it's never going to happen. But you got to assume it is in today's fucking big bad world. You don't know what the fuck's going to happen. So when I saw all those holes in my personal game, I go, I'm going to stick this out. But what I'm addicted to the most is the in the moment. And I love my heart beating. I love one of my favorite scenes in any movie, because the director or whoever thought about it was so brilliant, was Godfather, before Michael shoots the two guys in the restaurant. The train is stopping. You hear train screeching. You hear them stopping to pick people up. If you've ever done anything bad in your life, there's a point of the adrenaline that your ears start ringing. You have no fucking idea when your ears start ringing. When you're doing something and you're deaf from the adrenaline, that's a complete different world. When I robbed that jewelry store with Marblehead that time, when I was running up the corner, I was looking at grand larceny. You know, I'm looking at theft. I'm looking at 1,000 things. I'm looking basically at 12 and a half fucking years. Or maybe 8 years with good behavior. But I'm looking at time. My ears were ringing when I was running. Once I got around that corner and those chains were all over the floor and stuff, and I was picking them up, I was the king of the world. That adrenaline fear should have made me get in that car and drive away. But I was till today, when I asked that fucking moron, where's the jewelry? And he goes, it fell. And I go, you fucking kidding me? And you just walked up here with this? And I went and picked up those chains. By this point, everybody was out in the street going, hey, stop those kids. Listen, a bullet wasn't going to stop me right there. Nothing was going to. I picked up those gold chains, threw them in the back of the car, got in that back seat, and we took the fuck off. We hit a right. We hit 68th Street, whatever the fuck it was. And all of a sudden, I light the trunk, because we were going to put the jewelry in the trunk. But the trunk didn't open. The trunk was jammed, so we had to put it in the back seat. The beauty of this is, at the first light we stopped, there's a cop. And the trunk opens up as the cop is passing by. The cop never noticed it, and we fucking got the jewelry off. But that fear I had running around that fucking hill, when I got in trouble in Boulder and I kidnapped Vela, while Vela was in the apartment, when him and the biker were there, that Tidwell moron were arguing, and I left him there, when I walked into that house, that was the best adrenaline I ever had in my life.
Wow.
Because there was a guy that opened the door for you, a door guy dressed in an outfit in front of this building. Now, I had just been there an hour before to pick the victim up and to take him to the location. When my friend went over, he stopped him, whatever, and they buzzed him up. I don't know how he got up, but when I went back, from the way I slammed that door, when he saw, I'll never forget the look on his face. My body language, the adrenaline was coming out of my fucking ears, because he didn't even say good afternoon. He didn't open the door for me. I just walked in that fucking building. I got in the elevator, I went upstairs, and I basically walked to the door and kicked it in. My ears were on fire. I mean, my body was just hot. That's a fucking great feeling when you're on fucking fire. And I kicked the door in, and they had like a ceiling, and I just jumped up and pulled it down. I pulled the whole fucking, you know those
drop tile
ceilings?
Yeah.
Like the coke was on one of those tiles. I knew the tile. Guess what? I didn't have time. I just jumped up like a gorilla that I am.
Oh my God.
And pulled it, and the thing just came. It was like, it looked like 9/11. You ever see those things hanging? That's how the roof looked. Oh my God. Like the basement of Tower 4, whatever the fuck it was. There was beams hanging, dust everywhere. When I walked out, I had dust all over my face, my shirt. I had ripped that fucking ceiling down. I fucking picked up that coke and I went in the car. You have no idea how I felt. By the time I got out, I was already that clear, because it's so funny. Lee, how you feeling, Doug?
I'm feeling fine.
You ready for another star?
Sure, but I'm just like, how did you only get caught
Crazy.
once? You're
So
tearing
crazy.
down buildings, you're kicking down doors.
Just-
You're doing 9/11s.
You're a adrenaline.
Yeah.
Will take
You
you to
can't
places
sleep.
you can't think. You can't think logically. But here's the beauty of it that I've always thought about. Okay, so I parked the car facing whatever the fuck, this direction. But when I got in the car, to my right, but when I got in the car, I noticed that there was a newspaper thing. And already my head was clear. Because when I pulled out of that thing, I crossed over right onto 19th and Canyon Boulevard, and that's where the halfway house is. How much of a sign is that? And I went in, I ripped apart the 2 kilos, and I took like a fucking handful of coke out and put it in like a newspaper that I had in the car. That's how much of a primitive guy I was. I took the 2 fucking packages and I put them under a newspaper thing, so I wouldn't have them on me. You follow me?
One of those newspaper dispensers or whatever it's called on the street.
Yeah.
Not done a dispenser, but
Those little stands you get your free paper.
One of those.
Wrap it up.
The quarter paper. I put
Yeah.
it under there because I didn't want it on me if the cops pulled me over. And that fucking guy at the door didn't even look at me on the way out. Didn't say thank you for coming, thank you for shopping here. Nothing.
Shit.
Zero respect, Troy Conrad.
Jesus. Now, will you do something like that with that level of adrenaline? You go home. How long before you can sleep? Because that shit stays in your system
I wasn't going to sleep that night.
forever.
I had a handful of coke.
Oh,
Between
right.
the adrenaline and the blow,
Oh, yeah.
it was. They call it adrenaline dump. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. When it's you get it all out, and then it just brings you down. But coke would bring you right back.
Yeah.
So yeah, the adrenaline dump is when you get it all out. It's just like and then you get home and it starts to wear off, and it's like it goes really low, right?
And that's when the soreness comes in.
Yeah.
That's when you realize, fuck, I dropped the glove in front of Cato's.
Because you don't notice the glove when there's adrenaline.
none of
That's
that
why that
shit.
happened. Yeah.
That's why the knife slips. And
Yeah.
it cuts your fingers.
Yep.
You know, when I was running from the cops and that dog, I ripped my hand open. I got caught on the barbed wire. I had to untake the glove from my skin. No, that binga. You have no idea. In today's modern world, I would have passed out. But the adrenaline
Right.
kept me going. I didn't even think of my hand bleeding. No fainting. In fact, I went home and left the glove on. I said, why fuck with it? Let me go to the bar with the glove on. The glove was filled with blood.
Oh, Jesus.
I would squeeze it and blood would come out of the glove and shit. Oh, my God.
Jesus. Oh, shit.
another drink though.
Fuck it. Couple cocktails, couple Valiums. I went home like a soldier. The next day I went to the hospital because I knew they couldn't stitch me up. Because after 12 hours, they can't stitch you up. So they could just... So I went 12 hours later. They cleaned it out with the fucking good stuff.
Oh, my God.
It's an open wound.
It was just an open
my
fucking
God.
wound. Oh, my God.
Jesus.
Just thinking about this shit, that state of mind I was in those few years.
Just picture that glove like you're squeezing and just squirting blood out.
Oh, my God. I had a tooth. I never went to the dentist. I had a tooth that had an abscess. and had a little ball on the side. And I would go to the comedy store and I'd be talking to somebody and you'd be standing there. If I didn't like it, I could squeeze it and the fucking juice would come out of the hole. That's some Christine Pazitsky type shit right there, Jack. Wait till she hears that. She was at the store last night. She looked beautiful.
Yeah, she was great.
She looked fucking beautiful. Her and Tom are doing great. They got the baby. The baby's a fucking gorilla. They don't know what to do with him. He's eating a fucking regular cheesesteak from New Jersey Sam's, whatever the fuck that is. No, all that stuff.
Now, would you black out when you said you can't think? Were you blacking out, or were you conscious of what you were doing, or would you just come to in the car like, oh shit?
50-50, and then I would laugh my ass off like I'm about to do right now. Like I did this scary thing one time. It was scary, like even looking back today. I had a friend and things went sour. She got pissed for some reason or another. I got pissed at her. You know, she was a drug dealer. You know, she was a big-time, medium-level drug dealer. I had met her through friends, you know, and I had known her for a few years. And the weird thing was, as good as I knew her, every time I go over there, she'd always take your money or ask you what you want, and she'd go in the back room and then bring you the coke. And then you'd give her the money. She'd weigh it in the back room. She'd ask you to look at it. She was very cool and see if you like it. You know, if you want more rock or whatever. She gave you a great coke. You know, I went over there one night to cop. She was no Miss America. You know what I'm saying? And everybody knew that. And at the time, I thought I was cute. And I went over there and tried to be cute with her. And she rejected it. And I got pissed off, you know, like a young man would do, like an asshole that would do. And I never messed with her again until one day I needed money. And I go, you know what? That's the house we're going to fucking rob. I knew the consequences. First off,
What are the consequences?
at that time, I knew that they were going to point all the fingers at me. I knew that this was going to come back to me at one point or another. But at that point in my life, I really didn't give a fuck because I expected her to have a tremendous load in that house. We were going to fucking become millionaires. In my mind, I was always going to become a fucking millionaire. In my demented, drug-addicted, young mind, they had $1 million stashed in there, and that was it. I was going to buy a fucking Supra. You know, you're a fucking kid. You know, you got the dumbest fucking ideas. And one day I put a crew together. I got two of my buddies. I said, listen, man, there's a fucking big payoff there. And when I told them the name, both of them looked at me like, you don't want to do that. I go, yes, we are. That's why we're doing it, because they don't expect nobody to get hit. You know what I'm saying? They don't expect nobody to get hit. Now, I thought I had the door. When I got there, I couldn't get the door. I was always good with doors. And I would look at them and try to come up with a way where I could get into that door quick. She was a drug dealer, but she didn't have a top bolt. What kind of fucking dummy are you?
It's that easy to get in without a top bolt?
Well, it's only one instead of two.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, those little regular things, I could, you could go through them. You could put a shoulder into those fucking things, a good shoulder, hit it close to the door. Like, don't go in the middle of the fucking door if you're trying to break that. You're trying to break that right there, that grip.
Yeah.
It's like when you break a grip, you push away from the fingers. Same fucking thing. You got to push away. In the movies, they always go to the door like Johnny Bananas. No. I would treat it like a football tackle. And I would get like in a 3-point stance. And that's why my shoulder's probably jacked today. And I would put everything I had into that middle. And then I would have a gorilla going behind me. And we'd wipe the fucking door open.
Wow.
Or I'd bring a screwdriver. I could say I could get a screwdriver in there. There was always different angles. Maybe there was a glass on your door. I could break the glass and put my arm through and open up the fucking door. There's always an angle. The consumer doesn't know it.
Yeah.
I know it. Where I just moved into, there's glass in the door. I don't like it. That's getting covered up this week. Because I don't like glass in the front. That's just a no fucking brainer. What did you... Well, somebody will hear it. Really? Really? Somebody will fucking hear it. Nobody will hear it. Nobody hears shit. We're programmed not to hear dick.
And if they do, who's going to go outside? Just like what you were saying with the safe.
I'll break the glass and walk away. So if they come out, they don't really see nothing, and they get back in their house. There's so many things people don't see that you think people are going to see. They don't see. I've done 1,000 things right in front of people looking at me, and they don't see it. Your mind doesn't pick it up. Something. I've seen it 1,000 times. You're not looking for that. You're not looking for a drug deal going down on your street. So you're sitting out in front of your drink with your husband drinking coffee. And I come up with like a fucking construction bag or a gym bag, but I'm dressed like a gym guy. You follow me? You come up looking the way you are. And I sold you an ounce of coke right there. And you got on the bus. I made you get on the bus, get off the next block, walk back 2 blocks. What's the big fucking deal?
Plus, how often when you're driving will you just look up and be like, oh, I don't remember the last 5 minutes of this? I think that happens in everyday life. I don't think it just happens when you're driving. Especially if you're doing something that you do a lot, like your morning coffee or mowing the lawn. You just phase out.
And you're making it very easy for people to not notice it because you're acting like you're supposed to be there wherever you are. Like that's the skill, right?
That's the skill.
When you're wheeling it, when you're taking a hand truck with a save, you put a blanket on it, you see somebody,
You
just
wave
like, hey,
at
how
them.
you doing?
You wave at them.
Yeah.
Like
Load
this,
it up.
we do
hey,
this every
you want to
day.
get the, this thing's really heavy. You want to help me put this in the trunk?
Oh my God, it happens
like,
all the time.
Absolutely.
Last night, Pablo Escobar, he goes into the store and the cop drops a quarter and he gives the quarter to the fucking cop. The most wanted fucking man. That happens every fucking day.
I used to do this. I'd sneak into concerts, but my thing was I would walk right in the front door, and like one of the times there was like 3 bouncers, and I just walked down and go, hey guys, what we're getting pizzas. What do you want? And they go, oh, we're gonna go pepperoni. We'll do two. What do you want? All right, guys. All right. And I just walk in, but like I act like I'm supposed to. Like, why would anyone walk in getting pizzas for the bouncers? You know, that made me in a position of authority, and I could just walk right in and enjoy the show.
It's amazing what you could do with body language.
Oh yeah.
Confidence
If you act like you are supposed to be there, nobody really questions that.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
How much body language contributes to so much. When you watch those shows in Discovery, like I don't watch a lot of shows in Discovery, but this time I'm in a hotel room. I just did 2 fucking shows, 250 people a show. I talked to 200 people. I go back to my hotel room. You're tired, but you're so tired, your body's glowing. So what do you put on that? That show you like, the prison show or my 600-pound life, that's the shit you watch at late at night because it don't need a lot of attention to watch. And it calms you down, that stupid shit. You're not going to get into 7 at 2 in the morning because that'll take you till 6. You follow me? 7 movies like that? Scarface.
Oh yeah.
You know, something comes on at that time, 1:30, you're doomed. But the cop show about what happens at Cellgate C and all that shit, you'll stay fucking awake for it. You'll wake up and it's still on. They're still in some fucking jail in New Mexico smacking people in the head with sticks and shit.
It's funny. It's weird. We talked last week how I was going to get rid of the Facebook app. I did that. I got rid of cable. It's weird how all these, like, those kind of shows can take over your life. I had the one of my first big screen TVs. I had burned into it the ESPN side thing that on SportsCenter where it tells you what the topics are going to be, because I would just leave it on all night.
Oh shit!
And like when you take that stuff away that you get addicted to, it's amazing how much more time there is. Like it's just weird.
It'll change your life. I took the Facebook app off my phone like
it's terrible.
4 or 5 years ago, and it's amazing how nice it is to not have alerts all the time over things that are not important for your life. It actually lets you live. You know?
I moved this weekend, and there was times that I would put, Hotmail on. I was like we were talking. We get stoned. And we open up all 5 links, and you open up Wikipedia, and you research, and you're looking for plane tickets, and you're sending an email, and you're waiting for somebody to send you an address on Twitter, so you go back and forth to Twitter. And there are days where I don't write on Twitter on the weekends. I've made myself a personal thing. Sunday at 5, I'm allowed to fuck around on Twitter. Before that, I'm not allowed to fuck around on Twitter. You got to give yourself a day and a half, 2 days. Friday, people are traveling. We said what we had to say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. People don't comprehend that.
Yeah.
They'll get on Twitter and go, where you been? Blah, 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 blah. You have to give this thing a fucking breather.
Yeah.
You know, people always go to me, Joey, you have so many fucking stories because I didn't have a fucking internet.
Yeah.
You know, you're reading about these stupid fucking stories because you're sitting there reading. It's 2 in the fucking afternoon. Why are you in the goddamn house? Why the fuck are you in the goddamn house? I could see if you're Hurricane Camilo, whatever the fuck his name is, that's in New Jersey now. It's fucking raining. But I never understood that part of it. You know, if you want it, you have to cut the shit that takes time away from you.
Yeah, the worst thing is getting yourself in a position where you're just staying at home and doing stuff from home, because that just can lead to, you're not accountable to anybody, and you can just do whatever the fuck you want, and you don't do the important stuff. You end up doing the bullshit stuff. When I first moved to Los Angeles, I rented a room from a writer, and the deal was, he said, you only get to sleep here. So this room is yours from 10 o'clock at night until 9 in the morning. You got to be gone at 9, but you can live here. So this guy, because he was a writer and he used the place during the day and he had meetings there. So I had to be out, and I just ended up finding great. I got so much stuff done. I met so many people. I was out there in the world. I was out there in Hollywood, a town new to me. That was the best thing I ever did. If I was at home just on the internet, I would have been living this virtual life, like who knows what the fuck, But that was great to just be propelled out there.
When I was 18, when I was going through high school, HBO was still pretty new. And HBO had a show about a guy who hitchhiked. The Hitchhiker.
What was it called?
I think that's what it was called. There was a guy who got in cars, and sometimes women blew him, and sometimes you just got to meet people and go to a different town. It was sort of like Kung Fu. He kept traveling, That was always like a distant dream for me, but after my mother died, I had no hooks in New Jersey. So that gave me the green light to experiment a little bit and travel, I looked around a lot when I was growing up, and I looked at what these guys were doing. And some of them were successful in their own little way, considering where they were coming from. We were coming from my same neighborhood, very blue collar. And now they got into some managerial union position, and maybe they're making $90K a year, and that entitles them to pay their mortgage and have his wife a nice car, shit like that, But I would see their traveling patterns, and they would go to Atlantic City, and they would go to Florida. And this is what they did every year. They wouldn't even fucking consider going past Chicago. And I always thought there was a little bit more to life, So when I got the opportunity to travel, I was always intrigued with Colorado. Because when I was a kid on ABC News, when you were watching Eyewitness News, I always put, and even today, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Western, and 8 o'clock Mountain Time. And I always said, Mountain Time? How fucked up is Mountain Time? Where the fuck is Mountain Time? So when I got to go to Colorado, it was because of Mountain Time. I liked the idea. When I moved to Seattle, it was because I liked the Seattle Supersonics for a while. They were in the finals one year with Jack Sikma.
That's why you moved there?
Yeah, it was just, but I liked the logo to the comedy club. The Seattle Underground. I just thought there was something to it. There was something to it. All those names meant a lot to me when I first got into comedy. It meant a lot to me to play that club in Boston, in the fucking market there that closed down. Lee, what was the name of that place? Kelsey Hall.
Faneuil Hall.
Faneuil Hall. There were all these locations that you had to play in because they were your golds. This was part of your golds. You had to play the Comedy Store and the Underground, and you had to play what was in Phoenix when I started. Interesting that you started in Phoenix.
Yeah, so Phoenix had with Knuckleheads, you had the Comedy Zone.
6 clubs in '94 or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you started with Stanhope. Stanhope started in Phoenix.
The first paid gig I ever had was with Stanhope. Stanhope was, I think he was featuring at that point. He was featuring the improvs. He was the god of that time. Like, you're featuring the improvs. And it was G.E. Howard's club. It was called, I want to say, it used to be Finny Bones, and then it became, like, Comedy Zone or something like that. It was in one of those hotel, restaurant bar things, right?
Shit.
Like, crazy. You know what I'm talking about? Because it was Finny Bones, then Comedy Zone, I think it was. But it was crazy, man. There was so many clubs at that time. And I forgot the Laughs. The one on the freeway was like Laughs, not Laughs Unlimited, but something like that.
It was Laughs and
Tucson was Laughs.
Then there was a Laughs in New Mexico.
Yeah, in Albuquerque. Russ Rivas.
Before Russ Rivas,
Oh.
it was a guy's club that died in a motorcycle accident on New Year's Day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
A great fucking guy. Just a great, because that was the thing. Laughs had a bad name, except his club.
Wow.
He was a Mexican dude. He was a biker. He took you to dinners. He treated you good. He put you in a hotel. Where the other two clubs, Laughs and the other one in Tucson, were kind of fucking shitholes. So he would. I don't. I'm just saying this at the time, guys.
Yeah, the worst condos, reputation, worst condos in the country.
He died. And Russ, I started with Russ.
Wow.
It's so weird how I was a doorman and Russ was already featuring.
No shit.
All right, at the Wits End in
yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot you did Wits End. That was my favorite club.
In Colorado?
Oh, fuck.
No.
Westminster.
Dog, I never did it. I worked there as a doorman, then a sound guy, right? Then a fucking bar back, and then I told the guy I'm want to do comedy, and he was like, "You'll never make it, not in this town. You're a big New Yorker, and he trust me on this. Stay, do what you're doing here. You'll be managing this place." And I'm like, "Fuck you. I'm gonna get on fucking stage. What do you mean I'm gonna stay here with you and give orders to these young kids and shit?" And the big clubs, what the fuck were they? Yeah, Knuckleheads. There was always an Improv in Tempe.
Yeah, and then there was that one that opened in the Scottsdale Mall. It was like name like the Sphere or some kind of like techno-y name. You know what I'm talking about? It was in this like Scottsdale Plaza.
This is what happened. I'm gonna tell you my fucking experience in the spring. Spring is March. Spring of '95. Spring of '94. I get a call. I talk to a buddy of mine. His name is Todd Jordan, great comic, and we're having a discussion. And I go, "What's some good clubs that are locally that you get me a showcase at?" And he goes, "Why don't you could eat one of those, just eat half of it first. I don't want you to pull a Nolan Benjamin. Next thing you know, you're in Glendale talking to Armenians eating a shish kebab and shit. You don't know what Joey Diaz is. Just eat a half of it.
Yeah.
Just to get into your head a little bit." What we talking about here, Lee?
The clubs, all those Phoenix clubs.
The Phoenix clubs. So I call this guy and he says to me, "Joey, it's time for you to start going out and showcasing." I go, "What's a showcase?" He goes, "You got to go to clubs and do a free set and let them know you're fucking alive." He goes, "Because nobody's doing that. This is how you get into clubs." I go, "All right, fine." So I called Knuckleheads, because at the time, Knuckleheads had 3 clubs. They had Phoenix, they had Minneapolis, and they had somewhere else.
Yeah. I don't remember where, but they did.
Like Portland, Minneapolis, and Phoenix. I go, "How far is the drive to fucking Phoenix?" They tell me like 12 hours. I say, "Fuck it." There was no thought of a plane in those days in my world. At that time, I worked for National Car Rental. And I became friends with this kid in there. He was just a great kid. And he really admired what I was doing. He was young. Like if I was 30, he had to be 25. And he admired what I was doing. He was like, "Really, you're going to do stand-up tonight?" "Yeah, I'm going to tag along." And then one day he came to me and goes, "Hey, man, I want to help you with your career." I said, "You a writer? You know people?" He goes, "No." He goes, "Pass out this box of flyers and I'll give you $100. It was an hour of work. Every once in a while he'd call me up. And then it got to the point where I would just call him up and borrow against the work he'd give me. And then he got me a job. When I went in there and applied, he got me the job. And then he became my boss. So I went to him like a man. I go, "Hey, man, I'm in a fucking bind. Is there any way I can rent a car from you? And you can take it out of my check and I'll work here for the next 3 weeks for free?" And he goes, "What about if I rent you a car? And if you bring it back, the bill will get lost."
Wait, what does that mean?
He goes, "He'll rip up the bill and say that you got to take the car for business.
Oh, yeah.
You got to take the car to drive somebody on a certain date." I mean, that broke my heart. Like I had to borrow $200 from a friend of mine, Lou Cirillo, just to get gas money that I was going to give to him, and then I was going to borrow another $100 from a friend of mine, Joe Koch, and try to figure it out. This is how crazy I was, Lee. I was going to get in the car with $100 and go to Phoenix.
drive 12 hours with $100.
Didn't give a fuck. That's how much the dream meant to me. I'll figure out how to come back. I'll figure it out. I'll rob a gas station. I'll figure it the fuck out. I got in that car. This kid didn't charge me, so I had $200. And $200 was perfect for the drive down there. And I took the $200 and I got in that fucking car. And you know, as hungry as you are, I drove 9 hours. I pulled over. I slept at some fucking parking lot till the sun came back out. And then I found the gas station, brushed my teeth, put water in my face, and I went to the club. And I sat there. I thought the club was open all day in those days. And I could just walk in and say, hey, I'm a comedian. Sure. Go down to the corner. There's a hotel room. They'll put you in. Tell them it's us. Get a meal at the restaurant and then come back and do a show. That's how I thought comedy worked. Like, that's how retarded I was. I go to the club. I knock on the door. That motherfucker's shut tight, Jack. I'm sitting out there all day in that fucking sun and that heat in Phoenix in a car with air conditioning. I had nowhere to go. I had no friends. I didn't know who the fuck to call. Nobody. I had nobody to fucking call. I don't know nothing about Phoenix. I hadn't been to Tempe since '84. I used to go to Tempe and visit a buddy of mine that was down there on the Lamb. He was down there smoking mushrooms with Indians and shit like that. So I would visit him. I knew nobody. I sat in that parking lot, Lee, in that comedy store parking lot, and wrote stupid fucking jokes and wrote my dreams down and how I was going to fucking bust out and somebody was going to see me somewhere at one of these clubs and I wouldn't have to do what every other comic did. At first, that's what I thought. I really believed I was just going to go on stage and somebody was going to see me and go, come on, let's go.
I think everybody had that starting out.
No.
That was a time where you would hear about, like, oh yeah, this person gets discovered from the comedy club. And there was a time where that kind of thing, you'd hear about it.
Really?
But it wasn't a reality. It was just like, I think it was one of the, like, oh, yeah, that's how you get discovered. Like, people were doing it for that. They were, like, 90s anyway.
I just wanted to be saved. I just wanted to stop being a criminal. And I'm like, if fucking somebody sees me, it's over. Like, if somebody could see my 5-minute set and they could just take me to Richard Pryor's house. I could smoke coke with Richard and we could do jokes and shit. Like, that's what I really thought. That's how stupid and naive I was. So I waited for them to come. I went inside. I asked for whatever the guy's name was. I mean, I got there and the waitresses were hating me because I was in the way. You know, I had to use their bathroom to get ready and use a shirt. I mean, this was ghetto to the max, Lee. You don't know when somebody walks into your club and goes, is there a bathroom I can use? You know, and I'm in there, no shirt on, with paper towels, wiping my armpits and my face, brushing my teeth, wetting my hair, putting gel in my hair with a shirt that was crinkled up. Then I'm sitting at a bar. You know, after that, I'm sitting at the fucking bar, as annoying as can be. So what time's the show start? And they're like, it's Jeffy and Jeff. I called you for the guest spot. All right. Guy's like, cool, yeah, you can do a guest spot, man. Everybody was cold to me. They charged me for a Coke. I was furious. Then the first show came in. And I got on stage, and just my accent killed them. There were some New Yorkers, and they were laughing and shit. And I was talking about Godzilla. I was doing terrible material. But I took them to where they had to go for 5 minutes. I got on stage. I go to pay my tab. The guy goes, no. He goes, do me a favor. Can you stay for the second show?
They didn't charge you for drinks ever again.
And then he asked me, he goes, are you hungry? Was I fucking hungry, Lee? I was ready to eat my finger because I didn't know how much money I needed to. By that point, I probably had $90 and I needed 80 for gas. So I couldn't take a chance and even get a veggie. That's what I was going to get, a veggie and cheese. That was the cheapest thing I could get, a Subway veggie and cheese. And he goes, stay for the second show. I stayed, did the second show. I think I ate like a roast beef sandwich. I didn't really want to be too over the top. I didn't drink anything. I had no Coke, nothing. And the second show, we're late, and I think I cursed, and I did better. So he goes, wait, I'll talk to you in a second. He brought me in the back, and he goes, when do you want to come back here? And I go, I don't care, no. And he goes, how about you come for 2 weeks, like 8 months from that date, whatever it was. April, I was going to come back like in November. He goes, you could stay for 2 weeks, $300 a week, maybe $250 a week to MC. I had to drive down there. I didn't give a fuck, Lee. I was getting my break. This is it. And then he goes, what are you doing tonight? Where are you staying? I go in the car. He goes, no. Go to the condo. The feature's local. Go over there and take a shower, take a bath, spend the night. You could stay till Monday. And I went over there. I got up. I watched some baseball, the other comic. I don't know who the fucking headliner was. I asked him creepy questions that night and creepy questions that morning. He got me high. We went to breakfast. He gave me his number. And I got back in that car and drove back with 2 fucking weeks of work at a club as an MC. I didn't give a fuck, Lee. I was going back up to the talk shit.
That's the best feeling.
It was the fucking best. And then I get home and I'm doing comedy. And I'm fighting my wife and all this shit. I'm getting into the comedy works and all of a sudden I get a fucking page. And it's a voicemail. And I get on and they're like, hey, Joey, it's Joe from Knuckleheads. I just want to let you know we're closing. I go, what do you mean you're closing? You're closing tonight? And he goes, no, we're closing the whole chain. And that was my first experience with fucking comedy on the road. Where's that Tony Bennett cocksucker? Hold up, bong. Look at that, Lee, asking for a fucking bong. When was the last time you asked for a bong, Lee, huh, cocksucker?
Not in a while.
That's it, it's over now. Lee, I didn't bring you a check, huh? Sorry about that, buddy.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Fucking beautiful jam for you. Monday, September 5th. This is it, guys, like I was talking about in the Periscope. Thank you, Lee. I was telling these guys earlier in the Periscope that the reality is it's September 5th. It's the 4th quarter. That's it. You're at the 30-yard line. You're marching in, Jack. This is it. This goes by so fucking fast now that you can't blink an eye. If you haven't gotten your shit together by this time of the year, it gets ugly. Mm-hmm. Your unemployment runs out about this time and shit. Once the unemployment runs out in October, it's a cold motherfucker out there. You gotta take one of those kitchen jobs and shit you've always dreaded. Cooking and fucking frying shit and talking Chinese to people. You want another one?
No, I'm
Were
good.
you ready for a bong in life yet?
Absolutely.
Nah, well, afterward, I don't want you blowing your top and you can't talk. His eyeballs got so red before. They got like the guy fucking, what's his name, choked the Narcos. Remember how his eyeballs got red?
Oh, no, it's fucked up. They don't fuck around down there.
So you started as a comic in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Who else besides Stanhope you remember?
Oh, God, man. Well, I mean, this was when, there was Genesis. I don't know if you ever knew Genesis. Then Pablo Francisco was in Tucson. He would come up. And there was Ron Morey. You must know Ron Morey.
Ron Morey,
Monster.
absolutely.
Love that man. And then Gary Menke. So those are the guys I started with. Menke, the Menker.
He just passed away recently.
No, not Menke. Menke's still running a club. I want to say he's running a improv in Tampa or something like that.
Oh, that Gary Menke.
Yeah,
okay,
Menke,
yeah. Who died from Arizona?
Dan Murr.
No. The other guy died too.
Mark Anderson?
No, the guy from Labs. He was like he's always been at Labs Tucson as an assistant, kind of, sort of nice, sweet guy.
Oh, no, not Gary Hood.
Yeah, Gary Hood.
I didn't know Gary Hood.
Yeah, Gary Hood
he was
passed
a buddy
away.
He was, he lived in Tucson. So we did stand up.
Yeah, Gary Hood passed away. That. Yeah. But I don't think Gary was taking care of himself.
No, he was in. As a matter of fact, the last time I worked that club, I want to say 6 years ago. He was. I stayed at his place, and he was definitely in really bad health. Like he was, he was having a lot of trouble. I think he had diabetes, and I don't know, man. Things were bad though.
Man, I'm over 50, and I got to be honest with you guys. Once you hit 50, you could go at any time. That's a fucking reality. You can go at any time. No symptoms. You know, you stretch for something, you get a heart attack, you go at any fucking time. My heart has lasted as long as it did, especially after these adrenaline stories and the coke. And there's 20 more of those adrenaline stories that can't come to my mind right now. So you know, people always say to me, Joey, you should do the third week of a month on the road. You should do this. You should. I don't want to die on the road.
Yeah.
One of my biggest fears is for my wife to have to call Lee and say, you have to go sign for him. I can't go. I got the kid. I can't hold a kid. And then from there, why even send them back to California? Send me straight to North Bergen, New Jersey, so I could die with venereal at the parlor over there. You know what I'm saying? Besides, he'll give me half price. That's a fucking savior these days. So you got to work that way. And once you hit 50, you really got to think that way. So you have to take a little care of yourself. I think the road, you could take care of yourself on the road. I'm not saying you cannot. You could stay away from greasy food, because I do it now. It costs you a little bit. You have to walk a little bit and do what you need to do. But you go to Gelson's, you know what I'm saying? You don't listen. You cannot eat 3 fucking meals like an animal like that after the age of 35. You cannot. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm talking about waking up and going to Houston. Let's say I'm in Houston, Texas, waking up and getting a cheese omelet with fucking French fries, crinkle cut fries, with a motherfucking side order of white toast, with an iced tea with sugar and lemon in that
maybe a
bitch.
malt.
Yeah, but on the way over, you got to get a couple kolaches and shit. So they get your blood going. Then you go home and take a nap. Then you wake up and go to Auntie Chang's Dumpling Palace, and you have the fucking lunch special, plus an extra fucking order of spare ribs because you're an animal. Then you go home and you eat a fucking sandwich while you're watching Maury or whatever, some chick that's trying to get pregnant by white people. Then then for dinner you go eat at a fucking restaurant again.
Yeah.
And the fried food, you know.
And then you got to get the late night Taco Bell.
Then you got to get the late night. It kills you on the road. And people don't. I don't get stressed out on the road. Listen, I do not get stressed out. My stress levels. In fact, I have a great time, to be honest with you guys. I think it's the travel. It's the travel that wears me down.
Yeah.
I had to take a nap today, guys. I didn't do much this week. I had to take a nap today because my body's programmed to nap on Sundays.
How long do you do a nap for?
What's that?
How long do you nap for on a day like that?
An hour and a half. Oh. When I go on the road and I wake up at 5 in the fucking morning, and you get on a plane to come home, when I get home, I'm up till about 2. And then I'll sleep from 2 to 5. We will not do the podcast on a Sunday night because I'll be tired. I don't want to deal with somebody 4 nights in a row. That's a lot of nights. I might not go to the store tonight, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't feel too good tonight. I'm starting to get something. I think I'm just going to stay home and mind my fucking business. Yeah. You got to take care of yourself as a comic.
You do.
You really do. You know, there's 5 nights a week. You could get caught up drinking on all those nights and picking at food, and then you sleep late. And I went up to 418. You're talking to the wrong guy. You know, you sit at the Comedy Store at night, you drink those Coca-Colas all night long with rum. You think that, you know, those are all 400 calories a piece. Yeah. No, there was no fried chicken at the store. I have not. Me and Lee ate the fried chicken one night. Not the fried chicken, the chicken tenders.
The chicken tenders.
Yeah, there was that wasn't a kitchen then. That was just a dishwashing. They had the booze there, and they used to wash the glasses there and shit.
Oh, okay.
Well, do you guys like eating late even when you're home? Because I will not eat during the day. Like I'll have like one meal, but like at 11 o'clock, even without the edibles, sometimes I'll just want to eat.
Yeah,
and that's apparently
absolutely.
like the worst thing for you to do.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I never did it. Lee and I have a discussion once a week. I bore Lee with the same fucking story about my dream. Lee, there's only one Lee. I love Lee.
Everyone loves Lee.
Lee's a fat fuck like me. Me and Lee together are not a good couple on the outside. Lee knows it. Lee and me, when we go out to eat, we fucking throw down. When me and Lee go out to eat, we'll fuck your world up. Chocolate cake, you know, and Lee's not going to say no to me, and I'm not going to say no to Lee. And I know what Lee's thinking when he looks at the menu. I know Lee that fucking well. He's looking at the most... I could take Lee to fucking Hardy Morton's, and he'll pick the most disgusting thing on the menu, but I'm proud of him. I'm like, go, Lee, go. He'll get the potatoes. He'll go for it. He ate the lobster last time. He don't like lobster. He ate the lobster with me,
Well,
bitch.
It's fried.
He ate the lobster with me, bitch.
Lobster.
Yeah, we got a coupon or something. People sent us like $100, and me and Lee went, and Lee had the fucking fry. I don't like lobster. That night he was fucking eating it.
You, one quality you have is you are good at being fat. Like I've been thinking about it a lot. There's people who are fat, and you talk about eating good food. What you really mean is that you know what, like, not that it's good quality, but it's what is the fucking best. Like Paula will come to me and be like, "Your meal, like my meal is always better than her meal," because I keep it simple, and I just know because I spent a lot of time being fat. I know what's gonna be good, and like, can I tell you what trust me, I've been to Taco Bell. I've never once ordered one of those Doritos tacos. That's a
What
waste.
about the new thing with the cheese in the middle? That's tempting.
Okay, because I'll tell you why you can't fuck with. Here you go. You can't fuck with Taco Bell's cheese because they use the disgusting cheese sauce. That's gross.
Yeah.
They'll put that in quesadillas and call that a quesadilla.
Yeah, that's really sick.
I would rather. I want to throw it in their face when they do that to me. But you can't.
So what do you mean
It's
I'm
like
a
that
good
movie
fat
theater
guy?
cheese. Yeah,
Like you like no, like we go to Morton's, you get the steak, and you are like, I told you a couple weeks ago, you're very calculated, and it goes to eating too, like you know the salad, you know the thing, but you know like your trick was the chocolate cake, because that's how like, no one would order that.
Wait, what's the chocolate cake trick?
It's not a trick. It's just like a 6-layered, amazing chocolate cake with homemade whipped cream.
Now, I would never get dessert.
We never get
When
dessert.
I go to we don't ever get dessert. But this cake,
Oh my god!
I wouldn't make you get nothing unless I was throwing heat at you. Like I'm the type of guy that if I got the best Coke in town, I know you don't do Coke. I'll call you over and go look at. I know you don't do Coke, but do a blast of this so you can tell people you did the mother of pearl Coke. This is direct from the Chinese palace and shit. This is mixed with yin yang juice and acupuncture needles. You snort this shit, it's over. That's the type of guy I am. I don't like fucking around with people. I don't like wasting people's time. When it blows me out of the water, it'll blow a civilian to death. Because it takes a lot to blow my fucking head off. It's like that spicy lobster at that place. It blows your fucking head off. You could go there and just get 8 appetizer plates of that. And me and Lee will do that before the year is over. We're going to do one of these podcasts that ends at 8, and I'm going to go, Lee, get in the car. Well, I got to put the podcast up. People are going to complain. Lee, get in the car. I want a 2-point entry. I'm trying to train him to do a 2-point exit out of the parking lot. It's a nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare. 30 years old. He couldn't get a license in Jersey. You got to do a 2-point fucking parking. He can't 2-point exit. This is a swoosh, and you pull out like what?
I do it every time now.
No, he doesn't. It takes him an hour. He moves an inch a foot.
Well, because you do it right after the podcast.
So
and
what?
I'm at 1,000 milligrams.
It's like this.
I don't want to hit something.
You're not going to hit nothing. I'm right there with my hand. I am right there with my hand, and he's got a fucking camera behind his car.
I love that you're right there, by the way, because you love that. I don't think you'd be behind, like stepping behind my car and getting hit a little bit just to mess with me.
Oh, I'm waiting to get tapped. You know me. I'll cut you.
Yeah, you're like, I want a week off. I'll fucking.
No, I'll just go down. That's it. All I need is a car to go like this. Look, that's it. I'm going down. It's over. What hurts? Everything. Don't be specific. Jew Training 101. Everything. Even you got to think about the attorney at court. What's he's going to ask you? At the moment you got hit with the car, Mr. Diaz, what hurt? You yelled, and what I said, everything. What am I fucking retarded? I just told you, what the ambulance guy said. Everything hurt. When you said everything, you mean everything, like what? Your knee, your leg. Listen to me. I could feel my fungi toe vibrating. He almost knocked the nail off my fungi nail, and he knocked the liquid out of my ear. I can't even hear you right now. I don't even know why the fuck I'm here if it wasn't for the sign language guy behind you.
That's the move to make them bring in a sign language interpreter?
Oh, that's the one. Oh. In about another year, I'm sure you got to listen. You got to bring in a sign language. Oh my God, I love doing this shit on a Sunday night sometimes and just giggling. So you got into this as
good.
stand-up. You went to work with Danny because you knew Crazy Danny.
Yeah,
We talked about Danny the week after he died.
R.I.P.
Right, I remember that.
And R.I.P.
I remember
Greasy
that.
fuck. I loved him to
I
death.
listened to that 5
Oh
times.
my
because
god,
it
that was one of the funniest things I ever
Yeah,
did.
you said
Rest in-
he was a sick fuck. May he rest in peace.
He
Something
rest
like
in
that. It was the greatest transition I've ever heard in my life.
He was.
Yeah,
I gotta be honest with you. Listen, man, I'm attracted to crazy people. Crazy people seek me. That's who my MO is. Crazy people are attracted to crazy people.
Yeah.
You know. I liked him. I liked him a lot. He made me laugh. He was a hard nut to break in the beginning. It took me 3 years to get in that club. And even then, he'd break my fucking balls. Rogan had to bring me in. Then he would give me love. Then he was really giving me love. Then him and I hit it off, and he was good to me. But everybody always thought I did blow with the poor guy. I never did a line with that guy. It was crazy. I knew that if I carried him with me, I couldn't get rid of him. I knew that by his personality.
he liked going out, man. That was his thing. This is Dan Murr, Tempe Improv. That's what he was known for. Like, he's the guy he's gonna take you partying, he's gonna take you drinking. You see, there's a band in town, or he's got Springsteen tickets. There's always something. Always.
That sounds like my worst nightmare.
He was a partier,
to
man.
party.
He was a partier.
I remember
He did the craziest shit, man.
He rented a bus that time with Jimmy Schubert, Carl LeBeau. They rented like a gambling bus.
did they?
Do you remember that?
I didn't
time?
know. I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, I remember that.
man.
I remember they went to see Bob Dylan.
Oh, shit.
So they rented a bus that you could drink on and gamble on and do the fucking whole thing. When we were leaving the Improv, he was getting there. He was one of those guys, and you know what? Here's the sad part about it, that Troy's gonna, you're a good, you read characters well, and you like Dan. And this is what I read of Dan. I read Dan. Dan was the / general manager of the Tempe Improv. If he was here in this room right now, he'd tell you he owned it, plus the mall, whatever. But it didn't matter. I liked Dan.
Yeah.
Dan was a lonely guy.
Yeah, he
That
was.
he wanted so badly to be a player.
Yeah.
He wanted people to tell him he was bigger than Hartman. He was trying to find, he gave a lot of people a lot of money to make little investments
Yeah.
on movies and shit, and they fucked him. You know that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, I heard that he did a lot of that, and he really did come from a good place on all his stuff.
Yes,
he had
he
all
did.
his demons,
Yes, he
but
did.
man, he's like
Yes, he
everybody
did.
else,
It's
trying
really
to be
weird.
the best they can be.
He was a lonely guy, and he just wanted to be known. Like that magazine they wrote about him. He took that out and bronzed it and put it right in the entrance when you walked in.
Yeah.
It takes balls to hang an article about yourself.
Yeah.
You want to hang it in your office, next to your trophies from college. I'm in.
Yeah.
But to hang it up at the business, and it was huge. It was the first thing you fucking saw. I mean, he was really in love with it, and I saw that. But the last 3 years of his life, when I was involved with him down there, it was not good. Like not last 3 years, the last 3 times I'd gone to his club, I saw something that was completely different. He was gone. And then the Super Bowl went down there, and he lost it.
Wow.
Because he thought he was going to be invited to all those parties.
Oh,
but what he didn't realize is, it's in Phoenix. Nobody's going to drive to Tempe. He kept thinking, oh my God, all these celebrities are going to come to my club. Nobody showed up. Not one person.
Oh, wow.
They all stay in the fucking hut by the Super Bowl.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying? That's where they stay. If you've ever been to a Super Bowl, they don't leave that fucking village there.
Yeah.
So, he got really disappointed.
He hated.
And I couldn't believe that it's like, you really thought they were going to come over here and get you?
Yeah.
Well, look at my picture on the wall. I'm the owner.
Yeah, well, he was. You do that stuff, that kind of thing. Like, when you hear a comic walk in and talk about where they've been and their resume, the first thing they say, it's like, that doesn't come from a place of having a big ego. That comes from a place of just somebody who's a little bit terrified and a little bit insecure about what's going on. They just haven't gotten comfortable, And so he had that, and he, that was what he did.
He was a cock blocker. You could not talk to a woman at his club. And you would try to justify it, but then one of the weirdest things happened. In 1998, 99, way before I met my wife. I went down there. Now, at those times, Tempe Improv was the club you wanted to do well at.
Oh yeah.
Because
It's the biggest.
that put, when you told people you work weekends at the Tempe Improv, they'd hire you.
It's huge.
Because they knew that the club was quality all the way. You didn't slip through the fucking cracks there. You know how I always say that saying, it's not how many people you shoot, it's who you shoot. You, in 15 years ago, in 2000, 99, 98, 97, if you had the Tempe Improv on your resume, you could sell yourself into a lot of clubs. As soon as you faxed them your resume, they would bite because they knew it was a militant club. They knew that, you know, David Spade, they taped the fucking specials there. They did the young comedian special there. A lot of people don't remember that with Nick DiPaolo and
Andy Kindler.
And who's the other?
Louis C.K.
No, the director from all those movies that works on
Judd Apatow.
Judd Apatow.
Yeah.
You know, that club had some heat to it. So
Would you put it down even if you had a bad set? no?
Yeah, it didn't matter. You performed there. They're not going to check. They're not going to
Okay, they're not gonna check to see if
how
you
do they do
bombed?
when you did that? No, they were like, wow, you performed there.
Yeah.
Just the fact that you walked in there and performed there.
That was like the Holy Grail Club.
That was the Holy Grail
big
Club.
one. Yeah.
So I had worked there like twice. I had done a Latino tour there one time where they paid you $400 and they gave you a hotel room that night.
Yeah, it's like Joey Medina. And
Hooker knocked on my door and you're at the wrong fucking door, and oh my God, it was horrible. I was coked up. She took me by storm. Then I sat there for an hour going, I should have hired her. I'm like, I should have hired her. She would have sucked my dick. I wasn't even thinking like that. I was so coked up. It was an easy in and out. It was easy Phoenix to L.A. And then I went down there, and I forget who the headliner was. And I went down there. He called me, and he goes, can you make it down here by Thursday, Wednesday night, you know? At that time, I didn't have a resume. I'd done like Mad TV and maybe Analyze That. And it was big to me. Like I was like, fucking December. It's going to be all over when Analyze That comes out. And he called me and he goes, come on down. And guys, at that time, I was living on a couch, sometimes in a car. I had no confidence, you know, like girl confidence. I was just trying to, he was paying $550, I think. I would just try to get coke 2 of the nights I was there, and that was my big thing. If I could eat and just, I would buy 2 shirts when I was there from a Fat Man store or something in Phoenix, and I was pretty happy with that, you know. And I go down there on a Thursday night, and Jesus Christ, I get off stage. I remember the green room was upstairs.
Yeah.
Upstairs, way deep. Deep, Lee. They had to fucking get a treasure map to find that fucking
That was
green
way,
room.
way at the end of the
Way at the end of the map. I'm sitting there waiting for the headline because you could walk out and watch the headline.
Yeah.
So at first, when the waitresses were busy, I didn't want to go out there. So I would wait till like 20 minutes and then go out there and watch the headliner for a while. I hear boom, 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 boom on my door. I open the fucking door, and it's a broad, Jack.
At the club.
At the club, at the door. I'm a feature act on a Thursday night. And this, or it could have been Friday. It could have been Thursday or Friday because I had to live there with it another night, and Danny was mad, and they didn't know if I was fired and all this shit. So the girl's talking to me. She's a little bit fucking drunk. She's telling me about coke and her girlfriends and blah, blah, blah. And I go, listen, yeah, it had to be Thursday. Because I go, well, the show's going to end, and we could still go to a bar. So now it's 20 minutes from that situation happened. The girl goes downstairs. Guess who comes up? Danny Murr. And he wants to take me out. He wants to go partying. And I'm like, I just told this fucking girl. They're young. They're young girls. They were from Jersey. You know, it was just, there was some stupid connection. You know, and they're like, we want to go out. We got blow. Because I must have talked about coke on stage. So he's in there now telling me how we're going to go to this place, and the car's coming, and they have a great fucking cocktail. And I'm like, I'm not up to all that shit. You want to take me to Scottsdale? Like, that's the big thing? Like, go to Scottsdale to be around yuppies and shit?
Thursday is the night.
That was
the night for that. Take you out late to those the clubs with the lines and the short skirts and the boom, the techno shit.
So I look him right in the face, and I go, hey, man, I'm going to go back to my hotel room.
Oh,
To
no.
the condo.
He
No,
doesn't like
hotel.
that.
I go, I'm really tired, man. And he goes, really? I go, yeah. I go, I'll meet you a couple nights. I'll go out with you. And he goes, okay. And guess what happens?
What?
I open up the door, and now the girl's up there with 3 other broads, tits out of their shirts, banging.
Whoa.
2 of them are married, and they want to do powder. And they're like looking at me, and I'm like, and they're like, "Are we still going out? Let's go. We got a car. Let's go. We already called. We got Julio waiting for us at the bar right around the corner." Yeah, I don't know what his name was.
No, there was Julio. He was the main kitchen guy.
It was 2 blocks away from that Improv. There was like a little bar. And now I got Dan there. I just lied to fucking Dan, my boss, that I was going home to sleep. So I get myself out of it. I go, you know what? I was going to go home to sleep. But you know what? Fuck it. Let's all go out. I go, Dan, you want to go out with us? He goes, well, I got these people waiting. I go, Dan, one of them is my cousin. I forgot all about it, Dan. I'm going to have to go out with them. And he goes, well, fuck it. Then I'll go out with you. I mean, he was that much of a child. He was 10 years older than I was. Yeah. And he wanted to go hang out with these fucking girls. If I was 30-something, these girls are 28. I was maybe 38. This is how long ago this was. This is 16 fucking years ago. I'm 50-fucking-3. So I was 37. These girls like 30 and fucking Dan's 50 fucking something years old. Looking like Bozo with his hair. He's bald. He won't shave the whole thing. He's got these curly things looking like Kleinfeld from fucking Carlito's way. These girls are looking at him like, you got to bring him with us. And I'm like, listen, I don't fucking know. The headliner still had a half hour. So I go, Dan, why don't you go downstairs? Let me finish what I'm doing here, and we'll all meet. So Dan's downstairs trying to be fancy with the 4 girls, telling them he owns the club. He'd get them deals to go to Aruba. I'm getting sick to my fucking stomach. I look at the chick that's got the blow. I go, you want to do some fucking powder? I go, because the girl's bathroom was upstairs. There was one downstairs, but there was one upstairs. But there was a line. Remember, there used to be a line. I go upstairs to the girl's bathroom and go right to the fucking green room. And she goes to the green room. I give it 2 minutes. I run upstairs to the green room. I get upstairs to the fucking green room. We're doing fucking bumps. We're doing bumps. She's putting fucking coke on her tits. I'm snorting the coke off her tits like commando style. The nipple's still in the shirt. I'm just snorting it up here. I didn't give a fuck what she did. I just wanted to snort coke. I didn't want to fuck her or nothing like that. Well, that wasn't the point. Then she finally popped one of those jugs out. I'm sucking on them, putting coke on it. She's got a bag of fucking coke. I mean, this bitch had, maybe 8 grams of coke, and she's throwing coke on her tit like fucking, what's his name in the fucking, what's the movie with Jack Nicholson in Boston where he's the mob boss?
Departed.
Departed. He's throwing cocaine at him. She's throwing. I mean, this chick was crazy. I'm sucking her titties. I'm fingering her the whole thing. I got her in the mountain position. I mean, this is terrible. We're snorting blow. I got coke all over my face. Now, this office, Lee, is the size of this fucking table. Lee, this office is the size of this table. Well, guess what happens? Danny walks in.
Oh, no. Oh, fuck.
And you know how that goes now with him. He couldn't just walk out and go downstairs. He embarrasses the girl. He says that this isn't this type of club. That when he brought me in, he would fire me, but he likes me personally. So the rest of the weekend I'm on probation. That he might find me. I'm listening to this shit going, what type of guy would give you this fucking ear beating? Only somebody who doesn't like somebody having fun. A real guy would lock the door and go, the next day go, that was crazy. What the fuck were you doing up there, Joey? Whatever. He just embarrassed me, embarrassed the girl, blew the whole fucking night. I do the rest of the week, and I go back. I call him, and I'm hearing rumors from people. You're banned because he caught you sleeping with somebody. And if I wasn't sleeping with her, I was fingering, I was sucking her tits, and we were doing blow. There was nothing going on. There was nothing going on. That's first base where I come from. The fuck kind of people
are. Nice to meet you.
So that was it. I was banned. I wasn't really banned. He was just mad at me.
But you know why? He's not mad because you're doing that in the office. He's mad because you didn't include him. Like if you would have said, "Hey, man, I got this chick, this broad. She's gonna blow everybody, and she's got coke throwing her titties."
When I went upstairs, I didn't think that was a thing. I just wanted to do blow. In those days, I probably had a little blow in my pocket, but if she was offering, I was snorting it because it was fucking Arizona coke. It was right there. It just came over the border. It just got off the mule. You know what I'm saying? The Mexican just dropped it off in the mule right down the corner there in Tucson.
It's still in the saddlebag.
It's still in the saddlebag. I would get coke down there. And everybody was doing coke. I remember taking Joe Rogan taking me to a club one night. And looking at Joe's face after an hour, he had gone to the bathroom twice. And he's like, everybody in this fucking town does cocaine. And I'm sitting there with him sober as a judge going, I know, I would be doing it too, but you're sitting across from me, you fuck. I'd be in that bathroom vacuuming it up with those savages. He took me to another party one time, the porno girl, before she married Tito Ortiz.
Yeah, Janet Jameson. She used to come to the club all the
She
time.
used to come into the Improv all the time. And I went to her house one time, and I got to tell you something. You know I'm a dirty guy. You hear me talking. Her house was beautiful. Like, she had a gorgeous home with the original husband.
Yeah.
It was just filled with disgust. You could smell the sperm particles floating in the air.
Oh, come on.
It was just, I went there for a party. And everybody's doing blow. And me and Joe trying to be cool, and I can't take it no more. This girl finally takes me to the room, and we're snorting coke. And when I come out, Joe was there. And Joe saw it. I felt fucking terrible. But Joe, this is what these parties are about. And then there was some chick sucking her own tits. You know, it was just a craziness type of house. It was a porno house. It ain't my type of house. That was what's-her-name's house.
Yeah.
She would go to the Improv a lot, huh?
Yeah, she used to come in a lot.
I just thought she would just go there to see Joe Rogan and stuff.
Yeah, she always came in for Joe. But, like, we'd see her in there once in a while. I want to say this was the Tito days, but at that time I didn't know the Tito days.
No, it was way before
that,
Tito.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
She had the original husband.
Yeah, because this is like the, 2002, 2001, 2002, 2003. Yeah. I don't remember who she was. But, yeah, she used to come in. And then the guy, Nils Lofgren, used to come in a lot.
Yeah, he was friends with Dan.
He loved Dan. Dan would make sure, send him a lot of food. It was the big stress night when Nils Lofgren's here. It was like a big fucking deal. Everything shuts down. Everyone's on military rules. It was crazy.
I hated bosses like that in those places.
Oh, well, Dan was a celebrity. He was
yeah.
a celebrity guy.
He made sure that everybody...
He loved all that shit.
It was
he
like
loved it.
then Schindler's List when the guy said, hey, send the Nazis another extra bottle of champagne. Like, he was that guy exactly.
Yeah, he was that guy, yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. He did some stuff that I hated. I look back now and I go, all right, I kind of get that was brilliant. It was he was mean and brilliant. And here's what I mean. He used to hire people. He'd put an ad in the paper and he'd say, come tomorrow, come Monday between 1 and 5. All these people, let's say 100 people show up, sometimes more than that. 100 people show up on Monday, and they're waiting. They wait there from 1 to 5. And someone calls at 1:30, comes out, hey guys, Dan is on his way, so please hang tight. And so he'd call in and just tell him, keep him waiting. He'd keep him at 5 o'clock, he's still not there. And I'll come back tomorrow. They have an employee come out. Next day, same thing happens. Now it's 60 people.
Shoot you like Fight Club?
What?
It's like Fight Club. You have to stand on the...
He made people wait. And then they come Tuesday. Every hour someone comes out, hey, he's going to be here soon. He never shows up. They do it again Wednesday. And then Thursday. And here's what happens. It starts with 100. Next day it's 60. Then it's 40. Then it's 20. Then it's 10. The last 10 people that show up, he hires all 10. I hated that. But then I look back and go, that fucking guy, he wanted the people that wanted the job really fucking bad because he knew that those are good employees. It's pretty fucking smart. It took me a long time to figure out that's what he was doing.
I get it, but for a whole week and like...
No, he ruined people's lives for a fucking week. He made them wait.
And it was for like a server job or like a doorman job,
For a server job, door.
The
Yeah,
whole,
server and
the
door.
whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of fucking crazy.
That's too much. Yeah, I've heard of things like they'll reschedule it a couple times on you just to see if you make it. Like, but to be honest, I wouldn't have gotten a job there. I would.
Yeah, no.
I would have left after the first day.
Yeah, no, me too.
I would have left after the first day. That's just embarrassing that you wait 4 hours, and that's just... So now you broke up with Dan. You and Dan go fuck it, and you came to L.A. You were working with Dan.
Yeah, I was
So
worried.
what year did you come to LA?
He's kind of what drove me. Like, I was so frustrated with... He was such a tyrant. It kind of made me move to LA. It kind of made me go, I got to get the fuck out. So it was like 2003. I moved out here.
And what you do in 2003? You were doing stand-up.
I was doing stand-up,
When
and
I first met you.
yeah, that's what I thought I wanted to do when I came out here. And then somebody had to have me tape something. I got a video camera. I started making little short films and stuff like that. And I loved making things, and you can call it producing, which that's what it's called.
That's what
But
it's called,
I always
yeah,
just think
yeah, yeah.
nah, it's just about making stuff. Like we all have our thing that we're making. You're making brilliant stuff on stage, connecting with an audience, and making people feel like life is fucking normal in America when there's all this PC shit. Like you're giving that to people. It's all about what do you make, and I liked making things that other people could join in on. Like I want to get my friends together. We're gonna make this movie. We're gonna do this thing. I like that shit. So that's what drove me into all of it. You know. It's
And
fun.
you created Setlist.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
what is the whole purpose of Setlist? Tell the people at home if they don't know.
It's an improvised stand-up show where you walk on stage. Instead of doing any material you've ever done, you get a set list of really strange, sometimes nonsense, fucked up topics. You get them in the moment, and then you act like that's the act you've been doing on the road for 10 years.
But they flip the subjects at you on the
Yeah, you
stage.
get like 5 different
That's
things.
what fucked my world up. I thought the concept was brilliant. I just...
Oh, yeah, you did the show. And you were amazing. And first of all, you know what happened the night we did a 7 o'clock and a 9 o'clock. And if you've ever done those, the 7 o'clock is always shit because the audience it's 7. There's daylight out. Every time we did the early taping for all those, every day we did early, the audience was terrible, and the comics left going, man, I just didn't feel like I really got them. And then the late show was fucking incredible.
Do you still do the set list there?
Yeah, so we still do it there, and then it became a TV show in the UK and Australia, and then we've been touring around a bunch of different places. So
No, you were saying Chile and Edinburgh. this first
Argentina and Edinburgh, and it's regular in Australia. So it's all over the place, but it's a sort of a thing designed to get people out of their orbit. Like we all have a routine, and that those butterflies and that adrenaline and all that, like. You know those times where you're on stage and you don't have that, like, and it's like you're going through the routine and the audience is loving it, but then you leave stage and you're like, I don't know if I don't have that, like I just fucking wheeled out a safe feeling, you know? And set list kind of guarantees that you're going to feel that because it triggers that adrenaline because you're out of control. You have no control over what's happening, and you're getting stuff thrown at you. It's like the beginning of that kung fu. It is like kung fu in the beginning.
In 2008, when I first got off cocaine, my mind started going through different directions. And I was like, you know what? In 10 years, this stand-up shit's going to be boring. I love when I get a call from a comic who's put a new pitch together for a stand-up show. In those days, I used to get them once a fucking month from some goofy motherfucker that wants me to meet him somewhere to put, something together for a typical... 3 of us are going to go on stage, and then I'm going to host, and there's going to be strippers, 3 of us are going to go on stage, and there's going to be people with drums or people playing a saxophone behind you. I mean, there was 1,000 concepts, but they all went back to just doing stand-up.
Yeah.
And I fucking was getting sick of it. And I go, something has to change. Something has to fucking change. And people were trying little things. You contacted me. I went down there. I was still in a fucking comatose stage when I went down there, and I wasn't really feeling it that night. But when I left there, I remember going, Jesus Christ, somebody is thinking like I'm thinking. Well, that this could go into so many fucking directions to stand up instead of this is a TV show. I can't believe you just
that's
told
thanks
me.
to Paul Provenza. I mean, he's fucking incredible with all the projects he does, and so he. We took it to Edinburgh. It got picked up for a show. We did 14 episodes, and it was amazing. It was a complete blast.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, it was great. And what it did though is we did the Melbourne Festival, and I had a guy come up after the show, and he goes, "Hey, because it was showing there, went into reruns, and it's still going in Australia. It's ridiculous." This guy he goes, I came in because my kid, he's in the 6th grade, he started a setlist club at his school. I was like, like my life changed. That was the
amazing,
moment
yeah.
I went, oh my God, that's incredible. He started a setlist club at his school. So think of what that's going to do for those kids. Like they're going to get to feel like to learn that when you get thrown into into that pit where you're afraid and you confront every demon, it's just like this thing. You can just do that and not be afraid and get used to, like you said, like you got addicted to that. It's the same fucking thing, right? It's getting addicted to that adrenaline, but finding a new way to get to it.
A new way to get to it. Monday night I did something that was the most interesting thing I've done in a while. I didn't want to do it. It was in my realm. I'm not going to lie to anybody, but I did not want to do it.
What was
and
it?
he caught me at a weird time in my life, and I said, sure. And for 3 weeks, I sat in my fucking office sweating it, and I just started getting ready last week. I agreed to do the goddamn comedy jam.
Oh, wow.
With,
That's the greatest show.
With Fucko from Baltimore. And I love him. I've known him a long time. You know, what's his name? Josh Adam
Oh,
Myers.
yeah, with Josh
who
Adam
I
Myers,
love.
yeah.
He's doing... I got there with Lee. I got to be honest with you. I didn't know what to expect. You going to put it on for him, Lee?
I have it if you want it.
Yeah, put it on for him. See if he's got it. You have it
Okay.
on your phone?
I have it on my computer.
All right, then do it. Yeah, put it on for him, and you can cut it up later and release it.
What
this week.
is this?
This is the goddamn comedy
Let
jam.
me
Oh,
find it.
I've seen that show. That is one of
So
the best shows.
I went down there and I looked around. He goes, "Are you going to sing a song?" I said,
My
"Yeah."
God.
I didn't get a chance to rehearse it. I was busy moving last Monday, so
I love that you did this.
I couldn't go down there. And I went down and I got to tell you something. I was so blown away. You want to talk about fucking anxiety?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen it. I saw what Adam posted. I got a dose of anxiety handed to me, and I felt it. As soon as they said my name,
good.
I heard the music. I walked up to the stage, and I didn't focus on Josh Adam Myers. I focused on the drummer for some reason. Something just said, "Joey, don't do it." And I focused on the drummer, play it, Lee.
Okay.
Focused on the drummer until I finally turned. And when I turned, Troy Conrad, reality at its finest.
Oh, man. I love that you did this, Joey. So there's this big crowd, the band. I think all these episodes of this show can be, I don't know if this one's on Comedy Central, but you can watch them on Comedy Central. Joey's out there dancing. This is unbelievable.
They can see it.
Everyone can see this?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God.
How cool is it, right?
This is unbelievable. Joey looks like he's always been a rock star. Holy shit. This is unbelievable. Joey's absorbing all that energy, putting it all out. Fucking love it.
Yeah, right there I have anxiety to the gills.
Really?
I can't breathe. I'm just playing it right there. I'm just trying to really be cool.
You came out with
See,
that
right
energy.
there.
You look like you're in the zone. Oh, look, now you're, okay.
I'm trying to get my head together. That's why. Oh, shit.
Oh, now you're back.
Sure, I came back. I had no fucking choice.
Amazing. Ah! Oh. Holy shit. Joey. Please do this every week, Joey. Oh, shit. Oh.
You know the balls this took to do this, guys?
Oh my
I was sweating
Oh
it
my
the last
God.
day.
You want to run out of there while you're waiting? Like, just like maybe the stage will collapse.
No, I just sat there with Lee like a moron drinking beer.
Unbelievable.
Lee's having a good time. He knows I'm sitting here in pain. Look at Josh Adam Myers. He's such a pimp.
Oh man, he is unbelievable. Greatest thing I've ever seen.
I didn't see
Look
the
at how
Mexican
lit-
dude behind me.
Look how lit up the audience is. Holy shit! Yeah, the guy behind you. Oh my god.
He's the guy from the movie with Denzel Washington, right?
Yeah. Equalizer.
Joey, you're a monster up there.
We
A
have to see the
legitimate
end.
monster.
Huh?
The end is the best.
Oh my god.
Only Lee would take this to embarrass me.
Please tell me, Joey, you're gonna be doing this again.
I don't know what song I could do. This is easy, this chant. All right, Lee, release this to the realm, Lee. Go ahead. Just fix it up nice. Cut it up nice. Make a video. Win an Academy Award.
Oh my god. Oh. Joey's beautiful.
It was a lot of fun, man.
There's Jeremiah Watkins.
Holy fuck, man.
Fucking Lee, I can't
Oh, I'm
believe you
so
saved
glad
it.
this is on tape. Oh, I'm so happy. Jesus
Oh yeah, of course I
Christ.
should tape that. What do-
Suck my dick.
Let me give some shout outs
Oh.
here. My main man Ali Bar's up there starting jiu-jitsu. Dante Gazzini, thank you for the CD, cocksucker. Johnny Cutler up there. Oz Warrior. Danny Staples. Ashman TV. One by One Podcast. My main man, Mikey Klein, but he's not Jewish. And Hero Jr., which I missed completely. They were at the See, I had my dates all fucked up. I thought they were coming in the 29th. So I took a Sunday at the Comedy Store last Sunday. I was going to go from there to the Viper Room and surprise them. They weren't there. They were there the 31st, which was Wednesday. So what happened was, Wednesday I had to gig up at the Ice House. I didn't get out of there till 11 o'clock, so I never got to see Hero Jr., but I heard they ripping up I heard they ripped up the fucking Viper Room. The 911 had to come. People were jumping up and down. Jews on fire. The whole thing. The whole fucking thing. So now you're in LA. You do the set list.
Yeah, okay, can I ask you something though? Because I really do hope. I would love to see you do. I know you don't do those specialty shows. You like doing the real shit, but this worked so good for you. Like this was unbelievable.
Because
You
it was
must have-
only 4 sentences that I had to repeat 4, 8, or 12 times. I just took the notes from IMDb.com.
right. No, but you know that
The last line, "Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me." They wrote that for me. That's the thing my mom told me since day one. So it came out. It just flowed organically. Suck my dick, all that stuff, motherfucker. That comes out organically. I picked the best song for myself.
Yeah.
You know, this was it. This was like, so now I got to pick another one. I don't know what to pick now. I got to fucking think about it.
could be
Alonzo
anything.
Bowden did Fight the Power. I gotta do stuff to rile up the crowd. I gotta let them leave there going, Jesus fucking Christ.
Could you do an AC/DC?
No.
Really? I feel like you could do it.
I could do an AC. My favorite AC/DC aren't the shit that most radio people listen to. I was a Back in Black guy, but when I think AC/DC now, I like Power Rage.
Yeah.
I'm a real big Highway to Hell guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. Oh yeah, listen. Night Prowler is a great song. I can't hold it up. Walk All Over You, I would fuck your world up. That would give me a heart attack on stage.
Why?
Because it'd be 2 guitar dueling and shit. If I could get a really good guitar player to do the goddamn
You
job.
gotta do it. Sing it. Yeah, that would be unbelievable. I mean, that's.
Sing it slow, take it over. Oh, I
Sing
love
it-
all that shit.
Oh,
I love when People, listen, I don't give a fuck if you do somebody's song. But if you do it, do me a favor. Put your flavor onto it. Show me why you did it. If you're gonna, if you're gonna do the mechanic over, show me why your version is better than his Charles Bronson. That's all I want you to do. If you're gonna have the balls to do my song over, show me why you're redoing it over.
Yeah.
Zeppelin stole your song. You know why he stole it? Because you're a sleeping pill. That's why Led Zeppelin. I heard that Stairway to Hell. That was Stairway to Hell because it was so fucking bad. Yeah. You know who heard that song you sang? Nobody. 3 people on an acid trip in Malibu. Yeah. That's it. Zeppelin heard it and said, this guy's retarded. Watch this. Bam! Lit that motherfucker up on fire and it became what it was. That's why the jury said, what are you fucking kidding me? This was A and B. This song put you to sleep. And that's why Harry Krishna's got together. This is how bad your music is.
Absolutely. Got to make it your own.
So that's the problem there. So you get to LA, now you do the set list, it's doing well. Yeah. You pick up a camera one day to fucking take pictures for the set list, and voila.
Yeah. And then I just got super into photography, man. I got into.
How long ago was this? How many years?
Well, set list has been 6 years. So that's when I first got it. And I'd say in the last 4 or 5 years is when I just got obsessed with photography. I saw some of your pictures from Montreal with Felicia. You up there with Yeah, I love Felicia, and she was doing amazing work up there too. She was doing pictures. Like, we're both in that photography world. It's the same, I think it's so similar to comedy. It's all about lenses. It's all about how you see something a little bit different. I mean, photography and comedy are really similar that way. Like, we all have our own lens. That's what's really exciting. A photographer goes, oh my God, you know what you can do with this lens? You can practically see in the fucking dark, and everything on the back glows. When you're going in and talking about something on stage, nobody else can do. When you have a point of view, like, you're the ultimate example of like a real point of view in fucking comedy. Nobody can ever like copy that, because it would look so. Everyone go, oh yeah, I know exactly who that is. Like, that's so simple to recognize, because you have that about you. It's the same thing with cameras, man.
You make me look handsome. Your pictures. I got 2. My daughter carries one of the pictures. It's not even framed. That's Lee. She walks around with the one picture you took.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
man.
So she likes your stuff. I got the other one that you mailed us.
Yeah, so for everyone who doesn't know, Troy's the one who does all the really cool black and white pictures.
He designed the front up, the new Hall of Fame for pictures you designed.
Well, yeah, so is the Hall series, but it's on permanent exhibit in the lobby of the main room at the Comedy Store. So there's about 80 comics. Joey, you were the first person that I photographed.
Thank you, because nobody ever thinks of me. And that's what I'm saying, like, this time, dog, I kept a joke because of you. I kept a joke that I fucking thought was disgusting as I was saying it, but it worked for the moment where I had.
What was the joke?
I drew. Sometimes I paint myself into a wall at the store, and I know how to get myself out of it because it's the fucking original room. I fucking hate the main room. I hate the main room. I go to the main room. I go to there like those people in Gladiator. I know. I got a 40% chance of dying, but it's higher than that.
Yeah.
Because I lose my confidence right in the middle of it. I go, why am I here? Why the fuck am I in the main room? I'm an original. I'm
you connect
dog.
With people. You like being in the trenches.
I'm a dog from the original room. When I walked into the original room, I knew it was going to be my home. When I walked into the Seattle Underground, when I saw those water bugs, I go, this is it. This is it. This is what I want. These new clubs that are opening and they're fancy schmancy, that's not stand-up to me.
Tablecloths.
I can't wait till somebody goes, you know what? I'm opening up a comedy club and I want the people to smoke. I don't care if the place burns down. That's what. You know how many people would hang out if they could smoke, Lee, and put their feet up and watch 3 or 4 comics do 45? A lot.
Get really good food.
Yeah, yes, a steak, finger food, not even a steak, like, clams and zucchini sticks and
pizza.
No pizza because they fuck it up. We went and got pizza the other day, and
what did you get?
And it wasn't bad, but again, like I tell Lee, and Lee's learning. If I'm gonna eat garbage, I want it to be memorable garbage.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I went last night and I had one of the best meals I've ever had. I wanted to thank Lee last night. I went to a place that he turned me on to. I reneged to go in there.
Pit Fire or what?
Nah, he turned me on to that Mexican place on Moore Park We didn't eat dinner, so I called my wife on the way back from the store. I go, I'm going to go get tacos. She goes, bring me 2 of them. I got 2 carnita tacos with avocado and cheese. Cactus. Those motherfuckers take it to the hoop right there in Moore Park. So if I'm going to cheat, I'm not going to cheat big. I'm just going to get 2 tacos. I didn't get the rice. I didn't get the dulce de leche. I didn't get shit. I drank water when I got home with 2 fucking tacos. That was my dinner, basically. My point being that the other day, the baby likes pizza. I like pizza. Lee likes pizza. Last week, me and Lee struck the chord with pizza in Holly. We went to Joe's Pizza on the way up the hill. Delicious.
Oh, yeah.
It's great pizza. They make it perfect. Nice to chin thing. We couldn't finish it. We weren't even hungry. We still got a slice and 3/4 we ate. We threw it away. Now that put the flavor. I grew up on pizza. I grew up on a slice a day. A slice. Listen, most societies, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Where I grew up, a slice a day keeps everything away. VD, gonorrhea, the fucking mumps.
Just cheese, too.
Just cheese. That's it. All you need. It's a tune-up.
Absolutely.
I don't have a tune-up here. You know what a tune-up is? A 2 o'clock slice with a Diet Coke. That's a tune-up. And it's if it's Lent, maybe a white pie with some mussels with marinara on it. Stop it.
It's a good tune-up.
So, yeah, you're one of like these fucking premier photographers now in comedy.
Well, yeah, I love doing it, man. I love getting stuff. It's an obsession, you know.
Last night I look up and I see you there, and for 2 seconds I get pissed off. Oh, yeah, I see you. I saw you there, and I got pissed off for 2 seconds. And I go, it's Troy Conrad.
Well, last night, yeah.
I was like, that's it. That's Troy Conrad.
Nice.
When most people do it, I kind of go, fuck.
Well, no. Last night I was there, and I was helping Brenton, who's is a great comic and also handles the social media for the Comedy Store. I was helping him set up his camera because he's got this great new camera. So I helped him do the settings so he can get it right. So I was just kind of playing around with his camera. So I got some shots of you, and I know he took some great ones. So he was. I just showed him stuff. By the way, I love seeing what happens when people figure out how to use those DSL. They don't mean anything. It's just it's like really a confusing ball. Like, I don't need this shit. I got a phone that takes good pictures. When you start learning how to use that stuff and the cool shit that you can do, he lit up. He was so excited. He was like, starts playing with stuff. It was great. I love that. You know, I get crazy.
You're
I nerd out on this.
You're a gadgety guy.
Yeah, I do like gadgets.
And especially cameras. I had friends. I had a friend that I used to fucking drive to California with every 90 days from Seattle. I love him dearly. One of the funniest guys I've ever met. I learned a lot from him about manhood from him. He was a lot older than I was. He was black. I loved him. But he was a photographer. And he used to call me, he would let me get under his skin. So when you let me get under your skin, guess what I do? In a loving way, I get under your skin. So he would show me his pictures. And what he would basically do is take a camera from 1950, a box camera.
Yeah.
And when he'd go on the road, he'd go to rural roads. And he'd take these gorgeous pictures of broken down cars and broken down tractors with a pig next to it. And they were beautiful pictures. But then he'd do something that I didn't like. He'd fill them in with like a stencil to give it that 3D look, and he'd kill the pictures. His pictures were beautiful. When you looked at his pictures, he always picked something up that was just wild. He never picked a chicken up and put it there or put a leaf there. He always caught that third thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's important in photography. When I look at pictures, he catches that third angle.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it exists. It's something I see in my world that I've always called the third angle.
Yeah, it's kind of like an extra dimension. I know what you mean. Like, it's something extra about that picture. You can't always describe it, but you go, it's just, I fucking like that.
And as a former film student who in those classes, people would make movies. I don't like calling them films, and they'd be like, I'm gonna make this black and white for artistic reasons. It's very artistic. I don't feel like you're doing it for that reason. I feel like it definitely is artistic, but I don't feel like you're doing it to be really fancy or
some things just seem contrived.
Yeah.
And you see them coming.
That's true.
When I see it coming, it pisses me off as a professional.
Yeah.
Contrived, scripted.
Totally.
Lee and I did something one night, a podcast, and we had a comic go on there, and every response was scripted.
Oh.
It was horrendous.
Oh, no.
So let's say I would ask you about...
go ahead and ask me. I'll do a scripted response.
No, so I would say, so what do you think about photography? And he'd go, photography is great. But I went to see my doctor. He just go in.
Oh,
fucking
no.
20-minute monologue, and me and Lee were like, oh, no.
That's called the Byron Allen.
And the who?
I call it the Byron Allen.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Like when you do that rehearsed, you start with something, and you go right into it sounds very memorized right now.
Oh. But people don't know what we're talking about at home. A lot of times, not anymore. It stopped about 10 years ago for me. But before that, there was a lot of places you go in, and they'd either make you do two things. A, write down your lead-ins to jokes.
Oh.
And it was horrifying.
They had you write down your lead-ins. I don't understand.
So
if you had a joke about clouds.
let's say I'm doing a joke about doing coke with the cats.
Okay. Or that.
Let's say, so I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I go, let's talk about my cats. And let's talk about sleep apnea. Okay? And they go, nah, it's okay. And he'd go, you could still get it, but we don't need it right now. And he'd go, so this weekend we have a very funny guy here at the fucking Copper Kettle, because I would always play those C rooms. And then the guy went, Joey Coco Diaz, very interesting. We also have the Green Bay Packers are in town. And he would go like, well, and also, so Joey, what do you think about cats? And it would sound horrific. Because nobody was talking about fucking cats, stupid. In fact, we weren't even talking about anything remotely close to fucking cats, you fucking moron. It was shit like that. When you watch Byron Allen on the sports show at 1 a.m. that it comes on at 2 a.m., there's a reason why they put it on at 2 a.m. It's because of his segues. I understand comics need money and comics need stage time and a forum. But I couldn't imagine. Like, I had one of the worst club owners go off on me one time about that. That I didn't talk about what I gave the guy. The guy goes, the guy was throwing you your material. You weren't doing it. I go, because my fucking material's dirty. I thought I was coming in here to talk and tell him about myself and sell myself. That's how you sell tickets. Yeah. No, we here at this club, we want you to do material on the radio. It was fucking horrible, Lee. That's a Byron Allen, Lee. It's the most unorganic thing you've ever seen in your life. So how long have you been taking pictures for?
Well, I mean, it's been
6 to 7 years.
Yeah, about 6-7 years. But yeah, the last 4 years.
So what happened the last time you photographed sheep? And you're like,
I would. I think that
I hate sheep. I went to anybody here from?
Oh yeah,
Let
and
me
then
tell you
change
what,
it.
and that's how he
yeah.
would throw it in,
Yeah.
Lee. If you watch tonight, stay up Monday night and watch whatever the show is called, Byron Allen.
So they would take the thing. You say, how long? 4 to 5 years, and the person would go, yes, 4 or 5 years. And which reminds me, my mother-in-law, she's always doing and so is that how they do it? They're like doing the weird segues.
When you have a inexperienced MC or an inexperienced DJ, whatever they want to call themselves, they don't have the stage time. They're not really. They're not really wordsmiths. You follow me? I'm not a wordsmith, but I learned how to put words in certain places. Lee telling me the other night, Lee goes, "You had a good set, but you said retard a couple times too many." That's a wordsmith. That's somebody who goes and listens to that tape, and he goes, "You were right." In fact, there I should use emotionally challenged. There I should use mentally challenged. You follow me? That's a wordsmith, so you don't say it twice. Why would I say fuck on this joke where it really hits on this joke? I'll say something different on this joke. If you work with some comedy writers like Willie Barcena,
yeah, I love Willie.
You'll die. Yeah. Because he breaks it down to the T.
Yeah.
So you're ending about a musical album, and then he'll put a word at the end of that bit to make it go in. So when you shoot your special, you have 6 things to hit, and they'll come to you. He's telling me here on the show last week how he goes by feeling, just like actors. He doesn't want you to recite the material. He wants you to remember the feelings you have when you say those material. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's it.
And I thought about it. I went up there and did sets with him Friday night. My first set was horrendously bad. I got people to laugh, but I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do. My second set, because I thought about what he said. I want you to put yourself there. And I want you to do 20 minutes on whatever you go. And it was perfect. I haven't listened to the tape. We're gonna meet tomorrow to listen to the tape. He's got notes the whole fucking.
So you're going by feeling as you're going through it.
Why not?
Yeah,
the times
that's
I
the
do
best.
better is when I go up to the com. Listen, when you go to the comedy store and you're sitting in the back and you got to follow fucking what's his name that I told you was there last night from America's Funniest Comics, the good-looking kid.
I forgot.
The blonde kid, and Rogan, and Greg Fitzsimmons, and all of a sudden you got to go up there. You got to outdo these guys. So sometimes I trick them with energy. It's that anger mixed with energy that really gets their attention, gets them fucking hopping in their chairs. That's what gets people. But boom, that's why I got to take them for the special.
I love watching you walk on.
The problem is, right, it's taking, nobody's going to do it for 50, 60 minutes.
Yeah.
So I got to find a strategy just like Conor McGregor did against Diaz. You follow me? Bang him out for 8, take him in for 12, fucking throw a rant at him, right, Lee? Pull it back for 8, take him into something else, and then close on a fucking rant that gets everybody's hair going up. And that's it. That's the strategy that you go into these specials. I never went into anything like this.
Well, because you like being organized, and you, in theory, could organize your special by the minute.
Oh, yeah. No. Lee, I could organize all that stuff. It requires something that I've never put into comedy. Work. Work.
You mean you don't want to sit down and
I've always been a
what?
very lazy comedian, and that's why I got lazy results for 15 and 16 years. It wasn't until I put the little extra effort in. And now what I'm doing with Willie, really, when you work with these guys that are wordsmith, it's not that they give you jokes, it's that they teach you how to come up with more jokes for that topic. Before Willie will do an hour special and talk about 2 things, and you're like, wow, he beat that dog for 28 minutes apiece.
Yeah.
He beat those fucking jokes. You know what I'm saying? What's going on here?
There's noises up above.
You hear?
Yeah. That just sounds like somebody walking, or a water tank possibly breaking. It was definitely the water tank.
Salud, cocksuckers. How you like me now? We gotta wake this podcast up. See, that's how you restore energy.
There you go.
You get energy back. You give a little bomb on people. They come back. They come back with laughs. Right now, Lee's had an anxiety attack. He can't wait to see what my
I
asshole.
just don't want to smell it. I'm just blowing. I'm just breathing in through my mouth and out through my nose.
Sure you are. You're doing the opposite, Belize.
Yeah, I'm doing anti-Belize.
Oh my god.
All I had to do was bring the candle a little closer.
Yeah,
It burned it off before it got to me.
No, you brought the candle in close and it smelled good, so I wanted to breathe in with my nose. God damn it.
Oh my god. I'm happy you came on, Troy Conrad.
Hey, I'm honored you had me on.
So
Look,
the joke,
I fucking love you guys.
The joke when
Yeah.
the joke that you said to me that one night that I had forgotten, I said it. I was just on a fucking energy tear up on stage. It was a Thursday or Tuesday night, and Lee was there, and I don't know what made me say it. I said I walked into that room and all there was blood and feathers.
Blood and feathers. Oh,
You haven't been doing that?
No, I forgot all about it. I think I did it on the last CD.
oh.
Did I?
I'll have to check.
I
You
mean,
have to check.
the visuals, like you're a painter up there, so you're painting this picture for everybody, and it's amazing what you can see the reaction of people. Like when you paint something that visual, everyone gets it. It's in their body, like they jump, and it's so great to see that. And you do that all the time, so I'm glad that helped, because when I watch you afterwards, I got your bits are floating around my head, like I'm laughing all night, because like I can't get that picture out of my head.
When you said it back to me, I couldn't even walk to the car. I was laughing so hard.
Oh, that's amazing.
Because I didn't feel what I said when I came out, but it was true. It was blood and feathers, and you said it to me when you go, blood and feathers, really, Joey? And I was like, oh my God, that's terrible.
I forgot all about that, Troy Conrad. That was my favorite part of the joke.
It's so bad.
So great.
I go, it's such a bad joke. It's fucking good. I'm laughing my ass off to the car. And that's what, you're a fan. Listen, man, there's nothing. It doesn't bother me, but I can't figure out why people do it.
What's that?
What happened? Today I was in jiu-jitsu. I'm sitting there. I'm breathing. I take my gi off. I'm about to take my fucking pants off and my knee pads. And I look up and this kid looks over and he walks over and he goes, "Hey man, I just want to thank you for the podcast, blah, 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 blah. How's Lee doing?" You know, there's people that talk to me and I could tell that if they listen to the podcast one time or if they listen to the podcast. It's so weird.
Yeah.
I could.
They come up to you differently.
Yeah, some guy came up to me at the ice house the other night. "How's Lee doing with that Mexican chick, bro?" She's smacking him around, yeah, bro. And we were laughing our asses off.
That's amazing.
She's gonna fuck him up, bro. My friend, he dates a little chubby Jewish guy too, bro. She fucks him up, bro. We were dying. I was at the ice house dying.
Oh my God.
You know, when people know that much about your personal life,
Oh yeah, they know everything.
they're involved. And you always come up to me and go, "Hey man, that episode you did with that guy." And sometimes you're the one that says, "I'm behind 2 episodes. But I did listen to the Rudy Saw," and I'm like, this guy's really listening to it. And sometimes you don't think you're doing a good job, or sometimes me and Lee come in here. Listen, not all the podcasts can be knowledgeable. Not all of them can be very funny. There's some podcasts that you do in here, but sometimes there's always a message with the podcast. So you at least get that from. That's the most important thing. And today's is that, and I got to tell you something because you were talking about it. I've been here for 20 years next year, and I've seen people come and go. And I've seen people come and go for the worst excuses in the fucking world. And I always look at myself. I lived in a car. I took showers in the main room. You do know that, right?
Oh, I didn't know.
I used to go there at fucking 8:30 before the show started at 9. I'd run back there with a black bag and just shower, wash my balls, powder myself, put gel in my hair, take a shit. They had the great bathroom in the back, right behind the main room. The whole time you're washing, you're scared because a ghost is gonna fuck you in the ass. You have no fucking idea when you're taking a shower at the Comedy Store. I did that every night, Lee. You had to go in there on the dot because I had to be out of there by the time the main room started. And there was always the black night on Tuesday nights. You had something in there on Wednesdays. You had some in there on Fridays and Saturdays. So I had to look at the schedule a lot of times before I went up there. Sometimes I'd go up there at 8:30 and take a shower for an hour and take my time and sing in the shower. It was amazing. I think back at those times, I took showers at the Comedy Store. In the daytime, I would take them at Josh Wolf's house in the morning. But at night, his girlfriend would be there, the kids. I couldn't take a shower in their house. I would go over to the Comedy Store and just stay there the rest of the night.
Wow.
But my point being that there was a generation of comics I came up with that came out here, and I saw them leave one by one. And each of them had an excuse. Until this day, I like them, whatever. If I see them, I give them a hug. But it's like I lost respect for them. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You didn't like doing comedy? Like we were talking about Mick Betancourt anymore. Mick called me the other day. We had an hour conversation.
Wow.
And he goes, "I just want to let you know." And it's not that you're quitting. It's that you took it out of your itinerary to do something else.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing. Those guys that just quit, now they're still doing comedy in shitholes, and they're saying that you have to be gay to live in L.A., that everybody who's successful sucks dick. Oh, there's 1,000 comics out there that'll tell you that, because they used to tell me to my face when I was a feature act and I'd work those little B rooms. They would tell me. I used to do spots at the Laugh Factory. I wouldn't suck Jamie's dick, really. Jamie's gay. Stop. He's 60. He just had a fucking kid. And he's gay. Cause what are you, a fat fucking magician? Get the fuck out of here. But you, my friend, got a lot of respect from me. And
Thanks,
I think people needed to know about you. I saw your Montreal pictures from Felicia. I think you do great work. And like I said, most people take a picture of me. I'm still a fat, ugly dude. When you take a picture of me, I see the third thing. I see a little bit of character in your pictures.
Yeah, well, look, it's taking a picture of you as you are, and it's also, I like to mix in who you are and who you want to be. Like, that's kind of the point, and that's why those pictures, those hallway pictures, they're surrounded by all the headshots from all these comics. And it's like, if you look at it this way, I look at it like those comics are propelling that person forward, you know? Like the next generation, they're pushing them up the front lines. Your turn, you know? And everybody that performs in that original room, they had to earn that shit to get there. And when they go on stage, it is something special. Like they walk up knowing, like, hey, I'm a fucking paid regular. Like there's such a pride in that at the store. It's a really cool thing to see that, and that everyone can count on that when you go there. You know, people are gonna no one's gonna walk and go, hold on, I gotta let me check my clipboard. And no. Like, people are going up there and set themselves on fire, right?
Hey, dog. I'm a high school dropout. I'm a felon. I'm a divorcee. I got a kid I don't talk to. I got a new kid. I got a wife. I got my life together. And I got to tell you, out of the things I don't have, the one thing I do have is that all these comics could suck my dick, is that I'm a fucking Mitzi Shore paid regular. I mean, she made me. That's, in my world, guys, that's like fucking Carlo Gambino putting you into the fucking, into the Gotti family, whatever that is, the Gambino crime family. There was no bullshit. There was no tape. There was no assistant. I went up there, I did 3, I came back the next week and did 10, and that bitch made me a regular and knocked the air out of me, and my life has changed ever since, no matter how I feel about it, no matter how she feels, and she's Jewish, so you know my admiration goes all the way back to fucking Israel with these motherfuckers. If it wasn't for a Jew, I wouldn't be here, you know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for a Jew at every angle, I wouldn't be here. A Jew wouldn't have killed Jesus, Jesus wouldn't have got a second fucking sequel. If Jews are Lee, you gonna give me the paperwork? Or you gonna sit there like a do some butts? Let's do this.
I'll go do some butts.
How many more stars you want to eat tonight, Lee? Pick a number, cocksucker.
17.
2 more? What we got in there?
These are strong stars. How many milligrams are in a star?
125. These
you
things.
gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, you're going deep tonight to the murky waters of the underworld.
Yeah.
And we've had what? 12 each?
So I I'm the ultimate lightweight. Like I feel 10, like no problem.
You're gonna feel this.
I
right
feel
off the
10.
bat.
So this is.
We're gonna end with eating 2 more. Lee.
2 more? Jesus Christ.
250. What the fuck?
So what is this? 14?
Whatever. Who gives a fuck?
I would be high for a week with just
taking the Popeyes
what
chicken.
Lee's eaten so far.
You're not going to take me to Popeye's
Who
chicken.
gives you 15 stars and takes you to Popeye's chicken?
Not you.
Me, cocksucker, because I love you. You fuck.
You never take me to Popeye's chicken.
Well, I'm gonna take you tomorrow
Yeah,
because I
exactly.
love you and shit. You want another star?
No, I got it. I still got a little bit of star left.
You got the motorcycle? What do you got out there?
What's that? Oh,
You got
no,
the
I got a
car?
car. I got the
Okay.
wheels. But I can take an Uber if this thing kicks in. Like, I
No,
think it
it'll be
might.
fine.
Okay.
Worst thing happens. Take a walk. Take a walk
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
You live
No,
in
you're
Burbank,
right.
right?
Yeah, I'm in Burbank.
Yeah, you're
I'm
a
not
hop,
that
skip,
far.
and a jump. You'll be back
Yeah,
tomorrow to get that car.
Oh.
Take a walk on Chandler. See where it takes you. What's the matter, Lee? Lee's making noises over
Like
there.
half my stomach is jello now from this fucking...
Who gives a
It's
fuck?
a lot of Jello star.
You like Jello. Somebody
Yeah,
sent me
it's
a
pretty
tape.
good, man.
I got to send it here on the show. I can't believe his name. David. He sent the tape of the podcast with Lee on the mushrooms. And he just took all the voices and just put all Lee's sound effects from that podcast on a fucking 35-minute.
I love it. Was that online? Can we watch? Can we listen to that?
He emailed me on the church podcast store.
Oh my God, I gotta hear that.
So I got to try how to send it to my email, and it was too big. So look at poor Lee. Looks like he's playing the fucking trumpet over there.
Let me tell you, there was an episode where I've never laughed so hard at anything. I actually had to like edit a recording of it to listen to it a bunch of times where Lee was so high. It was the night you guys were talking about the left turns were banned on Hollywood because that cut out people from getting hookers.
Right.
And this was where Lee was so high. This was the most beautiful moment. And you're talking about, you're like, yeah, they cut this off, so now you couldn't turn left and get a hooker. And Lee forgot that he didn't have anything at stake. Like, he wasn't going to get hookers. So he was so high that he didn't realize that. And he goes, those motherfuckers. He was so legitimately angry. I've never in my life laughed that hard. He was like, motherfucker. Like, it's the greatest. It should be everybody's ringtone.
Oh, Lee's a fucking beauty.
I love it. I love getting that high, and that's I get high envy out of you, Lee, because I don't know how to get to that safely.
Oh, well, it's taken years and years of training.
Oh, he's a
So
superstar.
I'll
Lee.
give it to
You know what? The other day I remembered something. Lee went to a jiu-jitsu tournament. Lee gave it a chance. He went with a ripped gi. He had to roll up his pants because the gi was too long for him.
I had Paula's mom stitch it up.
Lee actually, my agents always ask me, when are they going to put together like a web series? And I'm like, listen, I have no web series for you. What I have is the education of Lee Syed. That's all I have for you. A kid that was a sweet kid. He believed in society. He believed in life. He thought everybody was nice and shit.
And now,
this guy had a Vietnam vet that was a cleaning woman, you know. I mean, he had some guy from the war cleaning his house. This guy made a bed for a hooker one night. We told him a hooker was on his way up. And I go, what took you so long? He goes, I had to make the bed. Who makes the bed for the hooker? This is how nice
what
this
is she
guy
like on a nasty unmade bed?
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, man.
People are fucked in the back of a car. You know what I'm saying? With AIDS on the back seat and shit.
I treat them with class, those hookers.
Yeah, class. You fucking big dummy. What am I gonna do with you? You over there, you come in their mouth and you swap spit with them and shit. You filthy fucking animal. That's how you get your resistance up.
To what?
To fuck. See, nothing happens to you.
What resistance,
It's like a
though?
polio vaccine.
Yeah, it's like, listen.
You're talking about your
Listen,
immune system?
You come in a prostitute's mouth and you swap spit with her and call it like a dirty Louie. Look at you go to Miami and jump around for an hour. Those Zika mosquitoes won't.
What happens if you don't survive the dirty Louie? What happens if you don't come?
Everybody survives a dirty Louie.
That's always
No,
going to
you
be
can't
collateral
come back.
Your
damage.
fucking own cum nils it out. You know what I'm saying? It's like
No, if you've gotten to the point of needing a dirty Louie, you haven't had like a woman come out of you for a while, so it's gonna be like a really old one.
so. What is this Jeopardy now? Why do you always have to turn something into dirty old?
You're the one who made it a dirty Louie.
Dirty Louie.
I'm the one who's a sweet person. I don't know what a dirty Louie is.
I didn't know what a dirty Louie is, but I mean,
If you don't know, now you know.
I sort of know now.
Well, I'm happy that you know.
I love it. Is that did you name it that, or is
Yeah,
that a real
it's
thing?
a dirty
I fucking
Louie. It's
love
got to
that.
be. Last guy I knew
Please
who did
let
it
that
was
be a thing.
Louie over on 82nd Street Park. He used to get hookers coming in out to make out with him, and then he always told me I had a sore throat. What do you think? You swap and spit with fucking hookers. They sucked 18 dicks a week, and you want to go over there and fucking. You tell them you love them, and he's like, no, I come in their mouth and I make out with them. Why would you do something like that for? Some people's fucking kids. Anyway, this show is brought to you by Texture. Oh my God. Listen, thanks to pizza, we're all binge eating. Thanks to Netflix, we're all binge watching. But now with Texture, you can start binge reading. Trust me, it's all about to be a thing. When it comes to magazines, you know what you like, and with Texture, you get all the magazines you want in one super convenient place. Texture has completely reimagined magazines, reimaged magazines, giving you the articles and stories you really want, all in one place. Plus, interactive features, videos, and recommendations just for you. The Texture app lets you tap into the world's most popular magazines anytime, anywhere, any place using a smartphone or a tablet. Breeze through hundreds of favorite magazines, including back issues, and pick the articles that interest you the most. Texture has made it easier for you to find the articles you care about. I just don't read, Cosmopolitan and what's the other one? National Geographic, okay? I just don't read these things. The Texture editorial team recommends content for me in every day. Plus, I can dive deeper into personalized collections. Let me tell you something. Texture is phenomenal. These are the magazines that are on Texture. Maclean's, Macworld, Redbook.
They have ESPN the magazine.
ESPN the magazine, Essence, Coastal Living. They got Rolling Stone, right? They got Rolling Stone on here, The Hollywood Reporter. They got Today's Parent. They got U.S. Weekly. They've got Woman's Health. They've got... No Rolling Stone, sorry. Yeah, Rolling Stone. I knew I see it in here. They got Runner's World. They got Shape Magazine. They got Shutterbug. They got New York Magazine. They got Oprah the magazine. Listen, it don't stop hitting, so do me a favor. The best part is of this, Texture's offering my listeners a free trial right now when you go to texture.com/Joey. You'll gain immediate entry into all the top magazines, including back issues and bonus video content. Listen, you're flying, you're traveling, you're in your office, You're making moves. You need to keep up with your magazines if you like that stuff. I'm not deterring you. You're reading. You're opening up your mind. Why stop? Because you're a man on the move. Do me a favor. Start binge reading for free right now when you go to texture.com/Joey. Again, that's texture.com/Joey. The Texture app is entirely digital, so it's super environmentally friendly way to consume the best magazines and articles. Plus, you can share your subscription with the whole family. So why fuck around? You know what I'm saying? That's number one, Lee.
I'm so glad they had Rolling Stone too. Like I was actually going to be bummed out if they did not have it, and they got it, and it sounds like a great one.
Well, you know what? I'm happy you fucking like it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you'll go home and order it, put it on your things now. Maybe we'll get you your own magazine. I don't fucking know.
Put it on the devices right away.
Why are you throwing me off here? You know I'm having problems here all the time. Listen, not all ingredients are created equal. Fresh, high-quality ingredients taste better and are better for you, so it's important to know where your food comes from. Talk about when you go to McDonald's, they don't tell you where your food comes from. They just give you a burger that smells like a foot, and you're stoned, so you take it and go eat it. Listen, all I know is this. My man Lee Sayat's been on Blue Apron now. How many pounds have you lost?
I've lost like 12. I haven't looked in the past week, but it's been amazing, dude. I love Blue Apron.
And what did you cook?
Okay, so we cooked a bunch of stuff recently. We cooked these beef quesadillas, which I used to put only cheese in quesadillas, but we made this like really great beef. What else did we make? I made this roast pork. They're called porchetta sandwiches, and they had this kale, like Parmesan, aioli.
How many meals do you have a week with Blue Apron?
You get 3 recipes with 2 servings on the 2-person plan. That's what I'm on. They have like the family plan, which gets more, which if and when Paula moves in, we'll probably get that one because it's a lot more meals. Because it's great. They literally. So it's great because like you're learning. So they always like lighten it up a little bit. They like put 1 clove of garlic. I'm always like, all right, I'm gonna put like 3 cloves of garlic in here. But it's cool because we made we made this pasta. That's what we made. We made this basil pasta with chicken, and we made the sauce for it, and like with the whole tomato paste and the tomatoes and everything. And it's just cool to learn how to do it because they make the instructions really easy. So the trick I learned is they have it set for like people who like maybe like want to go to culinary school. So they're like, okay, so this is going, cut this. I can't do that. I'm kind of slow, so I do all the prep first, and then I just look through and I look because sometimes they'll say grab some water. So the only thing they don't give you is like water, oil, and pepper.
Water and oil and pepper. You said right.
Yeah. So that's it. So I'll get everything I need, and most things take under an hour to do the whole thing. It's great.
And they're low calorie.
Yeah, I think it probably says there it's between 500 and 700 calories a meal. Most of them.
Well, I'll tell you what. You get all this for less than $10 per meal. And beauty of it, Blue Apron delivers the recipes along with the pre-proportioned ingredients to make your delicious home-cooked meal. Blue Apron knows that when you cook with incredible ingredients, you make incredible meals. So they set the highest quality standards for their community, suppliers, family-run farms, fisheries, and ranches. Whether it's the Japanese ramen noodles or the wild-caught Alaskan salmon or the heirloom tomato, Blue Apron is bringing you the best, okay? New recipes are created weekly, and they're not repeated within a year. So you choose your meals from a variety of recipes, or let Blue Apron's culinary team surprise you. Each meal comes with a step-by-step, easy-to-follow recipe card, proportioned ingredients, and can be prepared, like Lee said, in 40 minutes or less, okay? So do me a favor. Stop messing around. You're busy. You're trying to lose weight. Do me a big favor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get you 3 meals for free with free shipping if you go to blueapron.com/Joey, okay? I'm giving you 3 meals free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/Joey. You're going to love how good it feels and how good it tastes and how to create incredible home-cooked meals with your wife, your nephew, whoever you like. So go to blueapron.com. Don't wait. Again, that's blueapron.com/Joey. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 3 meals gratis, all right? Blue Apron, a better way to cook. What do you think you're dealing with here, ladies and gentlemen? Don't forget Honor.com, Alpha Brain, 100% money back guarantee. They don't want the product back. Whether you're looking for bats, kettlebells, Hemp Force Protein, Shroom Tech Sport, Shroom Tech Immune. Listen, they're throwing heat over that on it. I don't know how to break down all the stuff Honor got. What I'm telling you is, I'm giving you a tremendous deal. You're going to go to Honor.com right now. Look at the great selection that they have. You're going to settle on something. Maybe it's the Shroom Tech. Maybe it's the New Bone. Maybe it's not the Strong Bone, not the New Bone, the Strong Bone. Maybe it's the New Mood. Maybe it's that new veggie mix that they sent me, the lemon lime. Fucking tremendous. Whatever you want, check out. And then there's a box for a discount. Put in
Church.
Boom! CHURCH. I'm going to give you 10% off. Who's better than Uncle Joey, all right? So do me a favor. BlueApron.com, Texture.com, Onit.com. That's your fucking numbers for the night, all right? I love you guys. We'll see you again Wednesday night. I want to thank Troy Conrad, a dear friend. I love you to death.
I love you, Joey.
Where can they find you, Troy Conrad?
You find me on Instagram, Troy Conrads, with an S on the end. Everything else, just my name.
And he looks at he's got great pictures on there every night. Setlist show. Interesting guy. That's why I had him on here. Have a great fucking Monday. Have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you Wednesday, cocksuckers. Stay black.